Welcome, everybody, to episode 7 of the Brilliant Minds of Idiots show. I am your host, Zero. I'm here with BK, Ghost,
what up?
Rio. Also,
hey, what's up?
We got King E in the building. Damn, you put your James Earl Jones voice on? What the hell's that?
Look, stop.
Hey, every motherfucking body in the world. God damn, no, there's not a video here. We still not afraid.
He came to America.
That's how we started the show.
I know, he started with a fuck you. Welcome to the Brilliant Minds of Idiots, episode 7.
I try to be nice.
No, you didn't, nigga. You
I
can't
tried to
be
be nice. I said, thank you for being here. And you said, I put on my... So, look, this...
Here you
Thank
go.
you for being here.
See, but then you went back. You were like, nah, see, nigga, I told you. But thank you for being here. That's exactly what I was saying. How's everybody feeling today?
Feeling good.
All right.
All right.
Getting there.
Oh, okay.
I'm over here.
We did drink during the podcast, so we'll ask her again in 45 minutes.
Right.
Yeah.
Let it kick in a minute.
Yeah. Where's everybody want to start? Where's anybody want to start? We normally get into the serious shit early. But what you got? What you got, BK?
I want to know what the hell this egg boy thing is all about.
You want to discuss Egg Boy, Rio?
Yeah.
Egg boy.
Lay it on me. Paint a picture.
I'm surprised nobody's heard
Me
of it.
too, because
Shouldn't be surprised I haven't heard
Or
of it.
maybe it's just the name that I put on there.
Yeah.
So there was a kid in, I want to say Australia.
Yes, it was Australia. It was Australia.
Yeah. He went up and egged a conservative politician, smashed a raw egg on his head.
Oh my.
The politician turns around.
Slap the shit out of him. It was hilarious.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Slapped him?
Swung away. Yes.
That bitch got
Slapper, he
mauled.
swung or
No,
slapped?
no, he slapped the shit
He
out of him.
slapped the fuck out of him.
You look back at him, was like, hey? Slapped the
This
shit
was
out of him.
in
That's
Australia
Canada.
or he was
That's
just
not
Australian?
Australia. Mate?
Okay, mate.
There you
Like,
go.
this was in Australia or he was just Australian?
No,
No, in Australia.
Oh, okay.
How old was the kid?
Teenager? 13 to 16?
He was
a
charged as an
teenager.
adult. I'll tell you that because he got slapped.
Well, what he did was he put it on.
That
He put
bitch
it
got
on. Well, okay,
slapped.
so the conservative senator was saying some racist shit about the what happened in New Zealand.
Oh, that's right.
Because
I did
Australia and
see
New
about
Zealand are
that.
very close. So the senator, I think he was a senator, or he was a politician in Australia, was saying something about how it might be the perception, it might be their fault somehow. And what the kid did is he pulled out his phone, he grabbed an egg, he was streaming that shit for sure, and he just smashed the shit on the back of his head. And then the politician turned around, slapped the shit out of the dude. But everyone was like, "Yo, Egg Boy, that shit's dope as fuck. Go ahead."
I don't know if that was dope as fuck, but the politician had said that Muslims might be responsible for the attack that was on them. He put it on them, saying, "Hey,
That's what I said.
your Muslim integration is responsible for what's going on."
I didn't want to say that because I didn't want to give his ignorant shit light. Because that shit's dumb.
I mean, it was ridiculous for him to say that, but yeah. So I don't know if cracking an egg on somebody's head is.
Yeah, you can watch
It's
that
funny,
shit.
but
Shit is hilarious, and I think it's equal justice.
Made him feel better. Yeah.
Yeah.
Speak your piece with the egg. That's how you do it.
I mean, what I found the funniest was that the senator turned around, or the politician turned around, slapped the shit out this boy, looked at him, paused a little bit, and he was like, "Oh shit, it's just a teenager," and smacks his ass again.
Oh, wow. He gave him a
Yeah,
two-piece?
yeah. There was a
he
wrestle.
He
got egg.
He
He
double
gave him a
tapped him?
hesitated, and he was like, "Oh, should I do it?" And he was like,
Double
"Nah, he
tap.
just smashed an egg on my head. Fuck it, I'm gonna slap his ass again."
You know what?
He did miss one of the two that he
Yeah.
threw.
Yeah, 50% from the field.
50-50.
Yeah.
He gave him the...
What do
Yeah,
you
the
think about
Kobe.
BK?
I just don't know what the fuck this politician was thinking about double tapping a kid.
Well, I mean, if somebody smashed an egg in my head and I turned around and that nigga
I'll
wasn't
give you-
threatening, he was a
Yeah.
13-year-old kid, I'm going back for seconds.
I didn't
I'm
give
getting
him
two
the first
scoops.
smack.
I'm getting 2 scoops of that ass. No. This Over half the episodes have talked about R. Kelly and Mike. So no, not getting 2 scoops or anything. I go back to the buffet twice and slap the shit out of him twice for sure. I had to rethink about what I said and then change it.
That's an adult action. You smash an egg, so you get to you tried as an adult.
He
you get slapped.
He thought
wait a
that
minute.
out.
Give him this 2-piece. You gave me an egg.
You don't just carry an egg on you at all times.
It's premeditated.
Premeditated egging.
Yeah, definitely.
Premeditated.
Was it an egg and run?
It was a drive-by egg.
Oh, it was egg and slap. That was an egg and flip. That nigga got he got an omelet soft over easy.
Yeah, you got scrambled after that. The egg on it.
Yeah, that nigga he got slapped. He got slapped hard.
He got slapped over
He got
easy.
slapped
I'm gonna
hard.
look that up now.
That shit was way over easy. Yeah, that nigga sunny side up. He got slapped the fuck. That shit was hilarious. I laughed, but then again, wouldn't it be dope if we could just like approach our politicians,
So
just
wait.
throw an egg at them?
Did he get slapped or did he get poached?
He didn't get boiled in water. Isn't that how you poach an egg?
No, but instead of punched, poached.
Oh,
Jesus.
Oh, I was behind on that one too.
I was definitely behind also.
That was another level of dad joke. As she points to her
White ass skin. For the record, I don't like poached eggs. They're nasty. They
I've
look
never
like
had a
snot.
poached egg. I don't
They
know
look
anybody.
like snot.
No.
I've never had anybody who had the culinary skills to make a poached egg
Oh, it's not hard.
correctly.
I like mine just
It ain't
cooked
that
all the way, so it's not hard.
Yeah,
but
I just don't like anything. I don't like. Ghost doesn't even like sushi, so that nigga don't like nothing raw.
My guy.
Well, sushi's not raw. Sashimi is raw.
I don't like
This
sushi
is true.
either.
Sushi's raw.
Sushi's not raw. Sashimi is raw. Sushi is usually cooked actually.
Oh, usually. Oh, and is that a Korea thing? We like our bougie sushi here.
First of all, I mean,
We like our bougie
Japan's
sushi
where it's
here.
from, but
We like our boozy.
but you said I didn't like it.
I'm
so
sorry, I'm not that bougie.
You like it too.
Yeah.
I'm boozy.
Put a
I'm
little
missing the
vodka or a
H.
little sake on the top of it.
Yeah, you know what I mean. A little soy sauce get you right.
Some
Some Kiko man.
wasabi.
No, I
Some
need
Kiko man.
Yeah, give me some Kiko man. That shit.
Hey, I got a hookup.
On Kiko man.
Yeah. They got a plant over in Folsom.
I know, but why would I
like
need
that.
extra soy sauce? Just a
Why
dabble,
not?
do you?
Don't you need that at MSG?
Who doesn't need extra soy sauce?
What kind of? I mean, we're talking after this show.
Yeah.
Talking halftime.
Yeah. I got the hookup.
Halftime. Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Discuss
Man,
the Kiko
look
man.
at this show bringing people
plug.
together.
Oh yeah.
Look at that. Rio's going to save so much money on his soy sauce bill.
Exactly.
His Kiko Mom bill is going to be non-existent because of this show.
Fried rice is gonna be delicious.
Definitely.
Don't be talking about fried rice. Now I'm hella hungry.
There's food in the kitchen.
I know. I'm getting it at halftime.
Welcome
up?
back to episode 7. Brilliant Minds of Idiots. Egg Boy, I thought was, you know what I mean? I wish, that's what I'm saying. I wish, if this country
That
didn't
poor
glorify
kid.
guns so much, why can't we just throw an egg at, you know what I mean? Why can't we just throw an egg in Ted Cruz's face? There's no harm, no foul.
Because I want to eat it.
You still could.
No. Yeah, but you get shot and you get sent to jail. You're gonna get a lot of shit. That nigga probably just gonna. That kid is probably just gonna be a sensation on Australian morning news. He'll probably get a kangaroo or a wallaby.
Only if he was white.
So what do you?
He was white.
There you go.
You think they're letting number one? A black dude in Australia is called an Aborigine. So he's not voting on anything, nor is he part of regular civilization. So those guys don't get the same consideration. So a shout out to Show. Show just went to Australia today. Shout out to
nice.
Show. Love makes you do crazy things.
Watch out for them spiders and snakes and
And everything else.
stingrays and
Bring me back a
crocodiles.
wallaby.
Show just went to Australia.
Bougie motherfucker.
Love makes you do weird things, like go down under.
Yeah.
You see what I did there? Because it's a thing, Rio, where they're the down under.
I just can't stop thinking about them getting bit by one of them big ass spiders.
That's not where
I think they do have the highest concentration
Yeah,
of venomous.
They have like the most
creatures.
deadly shit.
Yeah.
The most
Period.
deadly
Yeah.
shit is on. Over
Well, have you seen how buff a kangaroo is? Nigga, fuck out of here. I'm not boxing a kangaroo.
hands,
Them
too.
nigga's got hands
Yeah,
and abs.
Definitely
Under-
on
if you got-
steroids.
if you got
Cardio.
ha-
pecs.
If you
too.
got abs and
Yeah.
pecs under fur,
yes.
And cardio. There you go. You're not gonna run away from a kangaroo.
You know what I mean? I don't know what you got in that pouch either. You could be holding a gun, or a boomerang. You could be holding all kinds of
Or a
shit.
baby.
Yeah.
Or a baby.
Or a what
Little
are they called?
Joey.
A Joey.
A
Yeah.
Joey.
Joey.
Yeah, look at that.
It's backup.
Yeah.
That's what they call them. Get him.
Call back up. Call back up.
But so we got E's take on whether or not it was a cool thing for this kid to do, because he is kind of being heralded online, or on, you know, as far as the couple or few articles that I've read regarding this particular situation, he is regarded as somebody, people are like championing this guy. So what do you guys think about that? Even if that guy is speaking that way, is it okay to egg him?
Yeah. You're not hurt nobody. A little chicken embryo never hurt nobody. So I'm okay with it.
I'm not. To me, it just, you flip it, you turn it around the opposite way, and you start doing it differently, and then people are going to be like, oh, you can't be egging, you can't be throwing eggs and stuff like that. It's a big issue. So to me, it's disrespectful.
Hey, it's meant to be disrespectful.
I mean,
but
is it warranted? Yeah, it's warranted. I mean, he should have got egg, but I mean, you can't just be like, I don't like you, I'm going to go around, I'm just going to throw an egg at you.
Look, if the cops pulled me over and instead of pulling out a gun, they threw an egg in my face, I'm okay with it. I
You'd be
understand
like,
it's still
wait a minute.
disrespectful.
Is
It's
this-
disrespectful as fuck.
Yeah.
Is this
Okay.
the new cheese challenge? Is it just egg somebody?
Are you talking about whether it's disrespectful or not, or whether it's warranted?
Yo, if my boss-
'Cause to me, it's different. It's like, is it disrespectful? Yes, it's disrespectful. But is it warranted? Of course. I mean, he said something.
No, I'm
dumb.
just saying, if my
I'm
boss
like,
came up instead of firing me, just threw an egg in my face, but I got to clock out for lunch and just clean myself up and come back and do my last.
what if your boss comes and says something dumb, like you have to stay like 2 hours after, and you're like, fuck that, and you're like, pow,
and you throw him with an
the
egg?
Like
and,
if you had
and you
eggs,
kept your job?
if you had eggs in your desk for that reason,
But what if going
They are
postal was
rotten
just a
as
nigga throwing eggs at everybody in the mailing office? I'm okay with it.
it's better than going postal, but it's still not.
It's probably the Australian version because that wouldn't happen.
That's what
here.
I'm saying.
It's
I'm
not a
okay
white
with it.
guy
Yeah, don't
upset.
they have stricter gun laws
what the-
there?
Yeah, they had a gun buyback
In
a long
America,
time ago.
it's AK-47.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
I'm okay with it
So
because
maybe
an
it's
egg.
just the equivalent because they don't have
I'm
they
okay
don't
with it
have
'cause
gun
it's an
laws
egg,
anymore.
But the
Well,
equivalent
Or
is
they
New
have
Zealand changed
super
theirs with
strict
the
gun
in a
laws.
hot second.
Well, yeah,
so,
but
I
they're
mean,
they're not in love with guns, so it's easy to do it to them.
well, I mean, they don't have the same mentality that we have growing. I mean, our country was founded on guns and the wild, wild west and everything. Like, it's not going to work the same way it works everywhere else with us.
Am I tripping, or was Texas part of the Wild Wild West?
Texas is Texas.
I don't know.
Yeah.
No, but wasn't Texas part of the Wild Wild West?
I wouldn't know.
What do you
Because
mean by Wild Wild West?
like back in the day, like wasn't Texas part of like Wild Wild West like culture? Because now they claim it's only the South. They don't call themselves the West,
Yeah.
not the
I mean,
South. I mean, they have South by Southwest in
Technically, yeah.
Austin, but
Texas is not part of the South. Texas is Texas. The South ends at Louisiana, so let's be clear.
no, that's still some wild shit.
It's
mean,
not
Texas-
part of the
They
if you
don't
ask
claim
the people
themselves
in-
as part of the
They
South.
do not claim
Texas?
themselves as part
Yes,
of
they
the
do.
South.
Well, Florida's,
Yes, they do.
Florida's the same way.
Yes, they do.
Virginia around to Louisiana.
I'm telling you, there's people in Houston right now who claim part of the South.
No, they do not.
I'm telling you, they do.
Listen to
They
their songs.
do not.
Listen to
They,
their
they will
songs.
be like,
I do.
We are from Texas.
Yeah, and they're part of the South.
No,
Yeah.
trust me.
No,
there's a
I'm
reason,
telling you, trust me. And
there's
and
a
I heard
reason
it
why
too.
they have that flag.
No, I heard it too.
Was when they were about to secede. So
Yeah, and I'm telling you right now in 2019, people still hear from the South. I'm not telling you that back in the day they weren't trying to succeed. I'm not telling you that your history isn't correct. I'm not telling you that. I'm telling you in 2019 they still say they're part of the South.
I think I'm with you on this one.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm telling you. I mean, I hear people say they're part of the South.
Like geographically or
No. They just claim to
culture-wise?
be culture. They claim to be part of the South, culture-wise, music-wise.
I don't hear
all
that
of it.
too much.
I hear it.
Music, because they're blended, they're kind of
I mean,
I
has
feel like musically.
has anybody here spent time in Texas?
I
I have family members there.
I've been there. I've been San Antonio and Dallas.
Okay. And how long were you there?
Probably total maybe 6 months.
What was
Damn,
the
that's a
sense
long time.
Yeah.
Tell
What
us
was
about
the
it.
sense that you got?
How's the
about it?
food?
Food's amazing. The barbecue, whew, it's on point.
Damn.
It's on point. But
Anybody that's listening that is from Texas, please take no offense.
You shouldn't care what we think.
no, but Texas. I mean, they had like drive through, like you almost like you would get a coffee like at a barista here, that was for like liquor and stuff.
Oh.
And they would just bring. They had a bunch of crazy. I mean, this is a long time ago too.
Any of you been to somewhere that's called like the South?
Yeah,
They have a South type culture, but people don't really. Everybody in Texas is really prideful about it being Texas and nothing else.
I'm not saying that they're not prideful of it.
I mean, but they're not really.
I'm not saying that they don't say we're from Texas.
Same with Florida. I feel like Florida's the same because Florida's the South.
Florida is wild.
But they're not the South. It's the same thing. I feel like Florida and Texas are
we
just states that are independent.
We addressed that shit on this podcast.
Yeah, we have.
I think the panhandle of Florida
Yeah.
is southern. Like when you get down to Miami, you're talking about Florida.
Yeah.
So it is different. I mean, my mom's from the South, so you got Virginia, the Carolinas, the Panhandle, Georgia.
Well, our family originates in Bama, so
yeah. But when you get around to Texas, it's a different feel. I know when I was in Texas, I was only in Texas for a week. Let me just
definitely didn't say it wasn't a different feel. I'm just saying
we
what they
said,
claim.
"What do you want to do?" and they said, "Let's go ride a horse." I'm like, "It's midnight," and they're like, "Honey, this is Texas." They didn't say, "Honey, this is the South." They said, "Honey, this is Texas. If you want to ride a horse, you can ride a horse." So it wasn't, to me, their mentality is not Southern, it's Texan.
I don't know what that means.
Only Texas.
Because I did not say that they didn't say that they were proud of being Texas or being proud of being. I did not say that they walk around saying
Texan first before.
I didn't say they didn't. I just said that I hear that they are part of. They claim part of Southern culture, part of the southern part of the United States. They don't claim to be part of the West. They don't claim to be anything else.
Oh, definitely not.
When they claim a
Definitely not part of the
geographical.
West.
When they
Definitely
claim a
not part of the West.
geographical part of the United States, they
I
claim
will
to be
agree with
South.
you on that. They are definitely
That's all I
do
said.
not claim the West.
Yeah, that's all I said. I'm just saying when we were kids and they were talking about 5-0 goes west and all that shit, they were talking about Texas. That's all I said. That was all I was debating.
Okay.
Yeah.
You should have put 5-0 out there to start with, though.
Yeah, my bad.
If you led with that,
Yeah.
your argument would have been stronger.
There's another sequel that's better than the first
My
one.
My apologies. My bad. My bad. It probably would have been a different thing.
It would have been a whole different.
King E brought up riding horses. I'm over here talking about a cartoon movie. So I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying. My bad. My bad. PK, you put up California getting rid of the death penalty.
Yeah, everybody's all pissy about Gavin Newsom or putting a moratorium on the death penalty. But we haven't executed anybody in 13 years. The fuck is the difference? I'm
with you, BK.
Thank you.
I'm with you, too. I think if you're going to leave a nigga on death row for 30 years, let's just get rid of it.
Yeah.
I think there's certain people.
Either do something about it or change the appeal system.
Yeah, I'm definitely not telling somebody that death penalty is something that should be thrown around lightly. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is death penalty is, I feel like it's warranted for certain criminals. That's just how I feel.
I think we should bring back Texas full circle. You're found guilty.
They got it right.
You get the appeal. Okay, we'll give
you
you a
kill
quick
somebody,
appeal.
we gonna kill you.
Next week, you're picking out. You got the menu in front of you. Picking the last meal.
Yeah,
like so. I think I agree that there's definitely some people, especially when it deals with children and mass
pedophiles?
murders. Yeah, and mass murder. I mean,
Kels?
I think there's I don't know about that, but there's definitely cases for it. But if you're gonna have somebody, you're gonna have us paying for them to be in prison for 30 years before you kill them. I mean, I think a pause to figure it out. I don't know if that's what it's for, but if a pause to figure out a better system, I think is probably warranted. It's probably a good thing.
Like, you want to figure out a better system, start at the bottom.
Yeah.
Do something about the bad cops. Let's start there and work our way up.
Is that the bottom though?
I think the
bottom.
people on death row are the bottom. I think
I don't think that's the bottom.
I think the people who have been on death row for 10 years, 20 years are the bottom. I
technically think bottom is just somebody who had possession of a small amount of weed. And
That's the top. I mean, I guess I'm thinking obvious.
Okay, I'm thinking small offenses.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
That's
I
my
definitely
fault.
agree
That's
with
my
Ghost. I think that it's warranted in certain cases, but I also
said that.
agree with BK, and it's a money
That's
thing.
weird.
I don't think anybody's saying, hey, let's not execute people. Oh, you didn't do anything really bad. I think it's just they're saying like with our justice system, it really is kind of senseless to keep going with this and spending money on it if we're really not executing people. So,
let me clarify one thing. The reason why we know King E is because That's BK's husband.
Yeah, it's really
Yeah, I was
weird
gonna bring
hearing
that
you
up.
calling me BK.
When he agreed with her, that's why I was like, you might want
I
to
was
let
like,
the
yeah,
audience know.
that nigga's trying to go home and not get yelled at that house.
Hey.
It was kind of weird calling her BK.
Hey, you call it whatever you want.
I mean, normally
now
I'm
that
like,
we've
babe,
established the relationship,
Well, not whatever. We don't want to hear the other names he has for her. We just want to hear the stage.
I don't care about
stage.
I would like those because I'm calling those smooth.
No, you don't get those because you're going to use them against me.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Call them.
We just stick
Hey,
with
gummy
babe.
worm.
Babe.
Yeah, big worm.
Hey, gummy worm.
No, not
Yeah.
at all. No.
Yeah.
No, we don't have pet names. That's just
We
babes.
don't.
Slim
babe.
Jim.
Slim Jim. That's yours.
That's
Yeah, that's him. He's definitely been called Slim Jim.
not good at all.
It could.
No, just sorry, just babe. Sorry, it's not anything better than that. But
That's not how my story goes. Ghost, how does everybody feel just about the death penalty in general?
I think it's warranted. I mean, you could. I mean, there's a bunch of things I could say. I could go all day about this and that, but I think that if you come after my kid in that way and you get caught, yes, you should die. Period. I mean, and if you're guilty, bye. See you later. I don't have any qualms about it.
I'm I guess I sit center. So I would say that I definitely agree that it should exist. And I think certain people should be executed. I don't think they should serve life in jail or yada, yada, yada. But I do, that is a stickier subject to me than most. Because I still think that people who, in my mind, at what point does somebody not deserve humanity if you didn't show it to a fellow person? Like, why do you deserve it after you've done something heinous? So that's just where I stand. That's why I'm in favor of having it. But I don't think you should be thinking about it for 30 years, and you should be a taxpayer burden for that long.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not about rehabilitating somebody who goes out and kills 50 people.
No, there's no.
That's just my mind.
It's too late at that point. There's no.
If you kill 50 people, I don't care. Because, you can change.
You can change, but you can't change what you
did
did.
something too terrible.
Yeah.
Get out. Well, you, Rio.
Yeah. I feel the same as everybody here. I think Ghost kind of sums up how I feel better. Just if you're gonna do it, do it. But I don't. It doesn't bother me. I don't like the California death penalty as it is now, and the amount of appeals people get, the amount of time that it gets stretched out. I definitely don't like that. Because like Zero said, that's a burden on the taxpayer. And if you're going to have a death penalty, like Ghost said, just do it. So
Same thing though.
Nike.
Here's the difference. The difference is the only thing I say that I'm okay with a couple appeals is when a case is high profile. Sometimes police or law enforcement just wants to get somebody guilty in order to get it out of and to have it solved. So sometimes there's an innocent person who gets convicted of something. So I'm okay, but that's so nuanced in the actual issue. I'm okay with the essential premise of the death penalty, but I think that law enforcement and the justice system needs to be readdressed differently.
Well, man, and I think that Rio is about to just jump in, but sorry I usurped you. But I mean, you just got this cat that just spent 8 years in jail off of getting railroaded by the police in the justice system. He just got out of jail, sued the police. He got out of jail in 2015, sued the police, and was paid $13 million. But
ran a marathon.
What did you say, babe?
I think he actually ran a marathon too.
Right.
Or a
He's
half
living his
marathon.
life now, but he lost 8 years of his life. And what's the cost of your life in prison? They're saying he got stabbed in prison. You're spending 8 years of your life in prison because you got railroaded by police. That to me goes along with the justice system. Whereas I feel like the death penalty is warranted, but I feel like the justice system is.
We were just talking about
par.
Yeah, that's why I said I was just trying to say that there's a difference between the justice system and the death penalty. Like, yes, the death penalty is a type of punishment.
I think what E was getting at though is that what you were just talking about was really a great segue into what E brought up.
Oh, okay.
And is it the Jamal Truelove? Is that who you were talking about?
Yes, that is correct.
So, just to give you guys a little bit of background, there was this. I think it was an actor or R&B singer. His name's Jamal Truelove. He was. He spent 8 years in jail, just like E said. He was stabbed. Has this horrendous story. He was framed by San Francisco Police Department for murder. They fabricated evidence. They did a bunch of stuff that the jury found questionable once he got his appeal, and he ended up suing the San Francisco Police Department and won $13.1 million. So it was just it really was a perfect segue for you there, Zero, just because we see how everybody feels about the death penalty, but then also here we have this case that kind of provides almost, a pushback to our very own feelings about the death penalty, because it ties into the justice system and how this guy got screwed over by our justice system, and we see how flawed it is. So,
well, and I was going to bring up something else, just as not necessarily deal with death penalty or going to jail, but I am a USC fan, so is Ghost, and Brian Banks was a high school linebacker who had committed to the University of Southern California through a legitimate athletic scholarship. But
he wasn't paid to go there.
He was, yeah. He didn't pay to get on the rowing team to use a scholarship.
And then not be on the rowing team.
Yeah. But he went to jail, and I believe he actually spent 6 years in prison over a false rape. And the lady who came out and said that she lied about it, and he got out just recently too. So
was that the one that she said it on Facebook? She noted it on Facebook, and they went from there.
Oh, I don't know about that. I don't know where she. I don't know where she confessed
it. Same case. Yeah, but I don't want to go down that road.
But yeah. I think there's that's what I'm saying. That's why I don't believe. I think that's a harder. I know nobody else wants to comment on this, but you know what I mean. When sexual assault victims say believe all victims, I swear I can't. I just can't. I always give the victim the benefit of the doubt, but I can't believe what you say 100%.
Yeah,
I just can't.
That's that's definitely a whole nother topic.
And I just yes,
yeah, but it just sucks that the punishment never fits the crime, because I think lying about that is very close to equally as bad as actually doing it.
Absolutely,
because you're ruining their life. And even if they find them innocent and say that, you still got those people look at them as if they did it and they just talked her into.
Yep.
Especially when they're famous. They just paid her money. Yeah.
To piggyback on what Ghost is saying, that I think that if you make a false request and somebody is convicted, especially if they can get convicted and serve time, that your punishment for lying at that point should be based on
time served.
Exactly. How much time you served in prison? If you're in prison for 10 years because you lied, you can't just be like, well, it's a misdemeanor. You lied. It should be like, oh, it's a misdemeanor, and since they served 10 years in prison because of your lie, now you have to serve 20% of their sentence or 25% of their sentence. It should be equated to something. You can't just be like, oh, it's a misdemeanor, my bad, sorry.
Yeah, it's
and
perjury.
That's kind of what it is.
It's perjury 9 against perjury
right?
1.
It's like when perjury 9 is that
you shagged somebody when you didn't.
Right, exactly.
And I think to bring it back to the death sin, or the death penalty. The justice, and it's obviously tied in, but I think that's obviously there's going to be people who are in prison and jail who aren't supposed to be. Maybe people put to death who shouldn't have been. Especially in Texas, you better have your evidence together.
Here's the express line.
You better have your evidence
together.
You're dead. You got that DNA sample in a week late, you might already be gone. But but I think that that's two separate things to me. I think you go through your justice, go through your appeal process, and then if you're found by, and obviously the justice system, I think everybody agrees is not perfect, but
no.
Some people we just know though. Usually the ones we think should be put to death.
Yeah, Charles Manson could be put to death.
Like,
but a long time ago.
But yeah,
But that
once you get found
motherfucker
guilty-
died in prison.
Yeah, I know.
Once you
but
get found guilty and
years
once you
later.
go
Yeah,
through the appeals
terrible.
process, then it's time. It's not, there's going to be cases where somebody spent 8 years, somebody spent 6 years, but
You got cats
They
on
still
death
got-
row now that have been on death row for decades.
yeah, it's too
And
long.
I mean, it's ridiculous. It's really ridiculous.
Here's something lighter for our guest. Gavin Newsom wants to repurpose funds from the gas tax
not
to fund
lighter.
homeless camps. What does everybody think about that? Being
Is the homeless camps like Fry Fest?
I don't know.
Do they get like cheese
Probably
sandwiches
similar.
I
and
don't-
like have to brave the elements still?
I don't got the.
The deep.
The full scoop.
Yeah,
Okay.
I just know money wants to be moved.
Please fix my roads first.
I have to fix the roads. I mean, plain and simple. Fix the roads.
Yeah,
I mean, gas tech was there to fix the roads. I've driven on plenty of roads that need to be fixed, plenty of bridges that need to be fixed, plenty of highways that need to be fixed. You can't say, hey, we're going to do a gas tax and then repurpose it for something else. It just...
They did it for
It's just-
license plates.
Yeah.
Why
I
can't they do it for the gas tax?
They
Politicians
did it.
101.
They did it, but they shouldn't have done it. You know,
Got your money.
my thing is like right? If you vote for something and somebody says, "Hey, do you want to vote for a gas tax to help redo the roads?" If you vote for that, I think that's where that money should go. You shouldn't
Yeah, I was just
be
about-
able
I was just about
to
that.
repurpose it to something else. Now, to piggyback on the homeless camps, I think that the problem with the homeless now is not just.
Let's not try to fix homelessness.
I'm not going to try and fix homelessness. But
Well,
I
hold
don't
on.
think that
Can I say
I
something
don't think
first
you're
though?
doing any favors.
Can we just at least add some of the money to the roads first? Like we didn't have to
Yeah.
like not enact it,
Not
or
some
at least
of it,
have
all
4
of it,
months.
all of the money.
Yeah, at least you could
All of
let
it.
That's what it was
past 4
for.
months before you try
That's
to pull
what
the
yeah.
Reallocate the funds.
wolf the sheep's clothing over the wolf. I mean, you could have
swoop and swap.
yeah, you could have at least
bait and
respected
switch.
me. You know what I mean? That's my issue on the whole thing.
Yeah.
You could have paid
like
like 3 or 4 years from now after we fixed a couple of roads and shit, and you want to repurpose it then? All right.
I mean, I cringed on 3 potholes coming to your studio to record today. God, I hope I didn't hit that.
I don't act like I live in the hood, nigga. No, all my roads are nice.
No, it's just back
Nah.
roads. It's back
Oh,
roads.
okay, all right. Well,
Don't,
and
don't
you know,
act like your area is all
No,
that. Like
you know,
It's
E,
hella
like you
bougie.
bougie and
nah,
stuff
he's
like that.
old as fuck. That
It's
nigga's
just-
been alive before asphalt.
It's just your neighborhood. It ain't no different than nobody else's neighborhood. Just
I'm not saying mine.
I'm
I'm
gonna
just
need
saying.
you
You
to
know
calm
what I
the
mean?
fuck down, all right?
I'm just saying. I'm just saying
You got
that. You know what I
potholes
mean?
just like everybody else.
If
Cracks in the
E's
road.
complaining about roads, they're really bad. So if E's complaining about roads, they're terrible. They're terrible.
What, do I have like a bigger picture for like bad
Nah,
roads?
yeah, because you've been alive when
What am I, like the
you've
Princess
been
and the
alive
Pea or
before we
something like
had traffic lights.
Oh, before traffic lights?
Yeah,
See, I knew it was coming.
Oh, just
You know,
wait.
I knew it was
I'm just
coming.
saying.
Just
I'm
because
saying.
you can't reach out of the playpen and drive. You know, I'm just saying.
I mean, I'm just saying.
I thought
You know
you
what I
were going
mean?
to say he was around when it was horseback. It was no.
Yeah,
didn't care
he
about
was-
No,
potholes.
you don't
he-
know how to ride a horse like that.
You know how trails are formed? How people just keep taking the same thing? That's just how he got around.
Get off the Oregon
He was
Trail.
on the
It's a
Oregon
trap.
Trail trying to kill buffalo.
What's his
and- yeah, he knew people died of polio.
The wagon had
Dysentery.
the flat tire. And you got
He had to leave meat behind. That's how bad his vehicle transportation was. He only could fit 27 of the 46. They had to just leave shit going.
Yeah, these young whippersnappers. I don't know nothing about. I mean, come on now, really?
Nah, it's just funny to say.
I know.
I know. It's only because I'm jealous because if you knew King E and you knew he was 75 years old, then it was way better than me.
I'm Uncle Drew. I'm the real life Uncle Drew.
Yeah, he looks way better than me. No, you ain't got the handles though. You ain't got the handles. Nah, you're not just crossing somebody over.
that wasn't a no. That wasn't a,
No, it's a no. No, it's a no.
it wasn't, I guess.
But
Do you got a basketball?
me?
Yeah.
Yeah. We go outside right now. Play some D. Let me warm up though. Let me warm up.
Go get his stretchy pants
Yeah,
on.
let me warm up. Let me warm up. You know what I mean? Not pull something. That's what I'm not gonna. E's definitely in better shape than I've ever been in. No. He is a better shape than I ever have been. He's just a better human shape.
Yes.
Tall
Like
and
he at
skinny.
least looks like the Imodium dude on the side who just looks like he's in pain all the time. He's proportionate. I am not. Nobody's ever drawn my shape, no matter how bad.
on purpose.
Yeah. Circles.
Oh yeah, Venn diagram. That's what I
Yeah,
look
ovals.
like. People make me all the time in
Ovals,
winter. I look like a snowman.
On diet commercials, they have your shape.
On which one?
Diet
oh yeah,
commercials have
when
your
it's,
shape.
when the stomach gets sucked in by 75%. Yeah,
The before picture.
I am the
That's-
before.
Yeah.
I'm the morbidly obese picture. Do you look like this?
We can help you.
No, you can't. That's where I am. You can't help me. You're going to pray. Send prayers. Send thoughts and prayers. That's my shape. Thoughts and prayers. That's what people say. When you see my belt size, hey, what size pants you wear? Thoughts and prayers. BK put on the show sheet.
Oh,
Virtual kidnapping. What is that?
Oh, you didn't hear about this?
No,
It even happened. Well, it kind of happened to my mom the other day too.
Your mom got kidnapped.
No.
I did.
So this is the new form of kidnapping that people will call. They'll hack into your phone, make a call from your phone in quotations to somebody like in your emergency contact list, pretending to be you, or not pretending to be you, but pretending to have your phone and say, "Send me $1,000 or else so and so is gonna die."
Yikes.
Can I?
Who's gonna pay $1,000?
Who's got that? Isn't like 80% of Americans don't have $500 in the bank?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, nigga, you dead.
But why would you only be asking for $1,000 for
they're
somebody's
doing it
life?
1,000 times.
I mean, 'cause
Yeah.
Well, also they don't
exactly.
know that they like
Scam.
you.
But speaking as a
Like-
former bank teller, there's a ton of dumb fucks out there.
Yeah.
I mean, but like right now, if somebody called me, like, "Yo, we got BK."
And
If you
you're-
have,
He
we
ain't
got
paying
$1,000.
shit.
Like, yo, I got $37 and a password to Netflix.
But you're not a dumbass.
Well, I mean, a little bit.
well,
Yeah. I mean, you're not dumb enough to
Gullible.
give someone $1,000.
No.
Exactly.
I barely give my mortgage
Exactly.
company that all the time.
But there are a lot of people that will.
yeah.
Okay.
As sad as it is, it's true.
Yeah. So my mom got a call the other day saying
She
that
answers calls she don't know.
it was on the landline. She didn't know any better.
Oh, on her work. They called her work phone.
No. At her home.
Oh, okay. She has a home phone.
Yeah.
Damn.
She hella old school.
Yeah.
Hey, mom. But saying that my uncle was in an accident and he had hit somebody and that they needed money in order to pay for the damages. But the thing that they don't know is that my uncle drives an 18-wheeler. So if he would have been in an accident, these fools wouldn't be calling.
Even to the store.
No, he would have plowed through them
No. He drives the 18-wheeler even to the store. Like to drop something off at the.
at the time that they had called.
Oh, okay.
He would have been on the road.
I know if somebody calls me and said that BK is kidnapped, I'd be like, good
Sorry.
luck to you.
Yeah, that's
Good
married.
luck.
Facts.
You
Facts.
you must be fucked up.
No. I'll pay you No, you pay me $1,000 to take her back, nigga.
You'll bring her back. Yeah. You'll bring her back.
Trust me.
Just
Don't
wait.
act like you
Just
fools
wait.
know me.
Oh, I
bring
know
her
you
back.
enough to know I'm getting paid.
Like, call me back in an hour and just tell me
Yeah.
to come. Tell me to come pick her up.
Keep my number on speed dial. And here's my Apple Pay.
Oh, just wait.
Yeah, here's my Apple Pay.
She about to tell you all the shit that she done did
I was like,
that
you
you
gonna
done
have a
did
black
wrong.
eye. He gonna have a black eye. Somebody gonna get kicked in the nuts, and she gonna be standing there waiting for me in an hour. Go ahead, do your thing.
What took you so long?
Oh no, my wife. I don't think she's fighting.
Not worried.
She's making it back to me. Next subject. Hey, Jelly Bellies is coming out with weed containing Jelly Bellies. Like they're coming out with like
Jelly Belly, the brand? Or
yes,
Yeah.
yes, real
Jelly
shit.
Belly
brand,
is
legit
making
brand, yeah.
cannabis
Hey.
jelly
Jelly
bellies.
Ain't that dope?
Like,
You know what?
literally.
What?
Literally.
Rio.
Did you say no? Rio's the resident
no.
expert if you don't know.
Why don't you?
No, he
like-
doesn't. I'm the resident expert.
Hell,
Rio's the
motherfucking
resident.
no.
Why?
What do you
Hell
have
no.
You don't
against
like the
jelly
popcorn?
bellies?
Is it too like hitty?
Nah, don't jump on this train now. Get the fuck on out.
No, but it's
Nah,
legal
we don't
now.
want
though.
you. Nah,
But
we
it's
don't want
legal,
you.
though.
Get the fuck on out. Nope, don't bring that shit over here.
Oh,
Get the fuck
I
out of
need
here,
some
Jelly
What a
Belly.
turn
paired
of
jelly
events.
bellies
I did
with
not see this.
THC
I didn't see one of
levels.
them.
This ain't your space. You never wanted anything to do with it before. You never had any kind of interest in it. You could give two shits about the people that have suffered and been put in jail prior to these laws being changed.
Take it deep.
Get
Right.
the fuck out. Don't want nothing to do with no Jelly Bellies. I will never buy Jelly Bellies that contain weed. Never.
Rio done hurt my heart.
My mind has been changed.
I was about
Right.
to say I can't.
Fuck
I
them
can't,
niggas in them jelly bellies.
can't disagree with that.
But
He
can I
pretty
get
much-
some belly
He
flops?
pretty much said, pretty much compared Jelly Bellies to Warriors fans.
I mean,
Don't insult my son like that.
No,
jump on the
Kids
bandwagon.
can be Warrior fans. A grown ass
Yeah,
adult
the
can't be a Warrior
bandwagon.
fan. You just keep
okay.
saying Monte Ellis.
I
It doesn't
mean,
work.
I mean, eat your regular Jelly Bellies if you want to go have some.
They are delicious.
Some strawberry or whatever whatever flavor.
Pear.
is your-
It's all about
is
the
your thing.
pear.
Go
Watermelon.
enjoy it.
You don't like the
Do
pear?
not go buy cannabis infused Jelly Bellies.
Wow, you heard
Okay,
it here
Rio. So
first.
hold on.
You can only
hold
buy
on,
'em in
hold
bulk
on.
anyway.
I'm just gonna pull up a scenario in which I would just want Rio to respond. Right.
Okay.
Your niece, she happens to be 17, turning 18. She loves Harry Potter, and she's never had weed before. Are you going to get her the Harry Potter infused weed jelly beans?
No.
Why?
Why would I?
Because it could be her shit, and she asked you for them.
No.
Why wouldn't he just get the
She's too
regular
young.
ones?
No, she's turning 18.
Yeah, she's still too young.
Okay, she's turning 25.
Then she could go buy them herself.
God damn. Okay.
Yeah, I was about to
That
say.
nigga's bulletproof. He's bulletproof.
Fuck you and your whole cannabis jelly bellies.
You're not going to change. him.
He's
I feel
protected
like
this angle.
He's never felt so strongly about any topic. We talked
Yeah.
about the death penalty. He was like, yeah, you know, maybe
Yeah.
Jelly Bellies. You tell me Jelly Bellies.
Yeah.
the death penalty is so touchy, but you know,
Jelly
I didn't even really want to jump in on that.
He was like,
But
Especially-
fuck you and these jelly
Yeah, but-
bellies.
He's like,
fuck Jelly Bellies.
Jelly
yes.
Belly come?
Yo, got it out for
Yes, let's go.
Wild West.
In the park.
Not in
No,
my
no,
town.
not the Wild Wild West. We'll say Texas now
Oh, my bad.
because they're not the Wild Wild West.
Shit,
Just
not in my
Texas.
house.
I will be eating jelly bellies.
You like
So you
you
know-
like jelly beans in general?
Like watermelon or
I'm not a big.
Oh, because he's black.
Fried chicken, watermelon.
Yo, fried chicken, jelly beans. Fuck out of here, niggas.
Hey,
It's the
they got fried
juices that
chicken
gets me
cereal,
going.
so I mean,
Well, you had the waffle the chicken and waffle
chicken
cereal.
and waffle cereal.
Why? Do you have to be
Because
that
he was
black?
in
I had to
Sonora
try-
and there's
I had-
nothing else better to do.
You can't get mad at
Okay, it's
watermelon.
different. No. If you're around a bunch of white people, you go buy it and you just look at them like, yeah.
I had
I mean,
I had to try it anyway. But
Is it good?
jelly beans? You know, it's not bad. The chicken and waffle cereal is not bad if you eat it all together. If you eat just the chicken pieces, it's
You a nigga. You a real nigga. You a real
like if you eat just the chicken.
If you buy cereal and you only eat the
Ghost
chicken
to
pieces,
cry.
you are a real
Yeah.
What are we talking about? Right? Is there chicken? Does it look like pieces of chicken in a cereal?
Yes. Yes, it looks like it's chicken
telling
and
you.
waffle.
No,
It's
if you
chicken
buy
and
the Honey
waffle
Bunches, the
cereal.
oats version of
Okay,
chicken and waffles,
We're gonna step off the CBD for a second.
Oh, shit.
But
Oh, my
it's
goodness.
honey bunches of oats, chicken and waffles. They have pieces that look like waffles. They have the flakes. They have the clusters, and they have pieces that look like drumsticks.
no, but
Yep,
anybody who
this-
buys the
this is
chicken
what
and
I do.
waffles to only eat the chicken pieces is a real nigga.
you was
He's a
picking up the
real
chicken
nigga.
Welcome to my life,
Those
y'all.
motherfuckers like, oh damn, it's a.
Ooh, a thigh.
He's like, oh, are those like goldfish?
But you
But
gotta,
chicken?
I mean, I had to try it just to see what they taste like. I'm
You
like,
did.
obviously, waffles
I've
taste
never
like
done
waffles.
it.
I'm like, the chicken ones taste
Like chicken.
like chicken. I mean, it tastes like they had like, you know, when you buy a cup of soup, like they had that stuff dusted on it. It's
I just couldn't.
This is
I
what I
had-
have
Did
to
you
deal
eat it with milk?
That's
no,
what
I
I'm
have
saying.
not tried it with milk, and I don't think I will ever be trying it
Okay,
with
that's
milk.
different. Okay.
I thought
So you
were
just
like-
ate
I
that
thought
shit
you had
like
a bowl of
goldfish.
cereal.
Yeah.
No,
You just
no,
ate
no,
that
no,
shit
no.
like goldfish.
He just ate it out
like
the
a
box.
little kindergarten snack.
I don't
That
know
nigga
if I
had
can-
chicken
I
and
don't know if I can
waffles.
do chicken and milk.
Picking up the.
Nigga had chicken and waffles.
He had like
goldfish.
chicken and
chicken
waffle
and milk.
cereal, eating it like trail
Chicken and
mix, and
milk.
picking out only the pieces of chicken.
Rio
This
is
is
dying.
delicious. This is
Which is
delicious.
worse, that or chicken and milk?
I don't
No,
know
no,
because I won't
That's
know.
what I'm saying.
No, I'm
gonna
100%.
bring it next time I come to the podcast. I will bring the chicken and waffle cereal,
And I'll probably
That's
pick
a
out the chicken.
requirement.
I'll probably pick out the chicken.
You gonna pick out the chicken?
Probably.
No.
Does
What
it
I'm
taste
saying is,
like
what I'm
dark
saying
meat?
is, that's not cereal. Then that's just trail mix.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm
That's
saying.
like me taking out the
Regardless,
pretzels and the
You
trail
know,
mix.
however you gonna do it.
Is that the black equivalent to trail
It
mix?
says exactly the black
It is now.
chicken and waffle cereal.
Right.
Chicken and waffles.
You know what?
Yeah.
Because he was like, "Oh yeah, I had the cereal and it's kind of good." I'm like, "Oh,
You got
but
somebody
you ate
like
that
a
shit with
handful
milk."
shaking in their hand, going, "Oh, this is good. I like
These
the
is
Sunflower
good.
Oh, these breastus pieces are delicious.
As he drinks some sweet tea.
Yeah. No.
You said breasts is stop it.
He had a sweet tea and some chicken and waffle cereal in Texas. He was like, "Yeah,
Sweet tea cereal. You gotta have
Oh,
sweet tea
man.
cereal. You can't have actual sweet tea.
that's gross." Sweet tea cereal sounds terrible.
That's,
Sweet tea cereal sounds
They have
awful.
maple bacon
does-
donut too, by the way.
Yeah, but that
that's
sounds
regular, though.
okay.
That sounds normal.
A donut plus bacon and bacon.
Bacon cereal,
I'm assuming it tastes like maple though.
You said donut.
but bacon.
Yeah.
Cereal.
Yeah, but I'm hearing
You're still talking about something you put milk on. Bacon. I love
chicken
bacon,
and
but
waffles
not
is a
with
completely
milk.
different beast though.
I'm like, but I still eat my maple and bacon donut with a glass of milk.
I don't
You
even
don't like
donuts
eat
and
it
milk.
all at
Yeah.
the same time. Like you like.
No,
Yeah,
you kind
I
of
do.
do. Yeah, you kind of
See,
do.
look at Rio. Look at Rio.
I'll even dunk that shit.
Right?
Yeah, I'll dunk it.
Yeah.
You know, I don't never want to drink no milk. Like finish my glass of milk and it just be
Tuesday
bacon
come
pieces
by,
at
I'm
the
gonna
bottom
get us
because I'm
some
getting them
maple and bacon
motherfuckers.
donuts.
I'm getting those motherfuckers smooth at the bottom.
And you know there's going to be a couple pieces of that maple frosting on there.
The glaze.
Don't look at me with the lust
That's
in your
right.
eyes like
he
that,
did.
Rio.
Rio, look over this
maple
way.
bacon. That's
Yeah.
maple bacon.
That's maple bacon.
It's too much love over
tripping.
there on that couch.
Tripping.
Candy bacon.
Man, I never knew that Rio had that much smoke for jelly beans.
I know. Now I know.
Just
it's
Jelly
not-
Belly,
it's
apparently.
not jelly beans. It's not jelly beans. It's not Jelly Belly. It's the fact that oh no, it is Jelly Belly.
Yeah, I was about to
but
say.
it's the fact that you want to hop on this train after everybody's done.
Bandwagon.
No, but
There's
they got
been
the
so
best
much-
jelly beans. Let
not
them
having
hop
it.
a little bit. At least
No,
this-
no, you got your lane. You
What if
got
it's
your
good?
lane. Stay
What
in
if
your
someone?
lane.
Let me ask you this. I know we might switch the topics, but
Yeah.
say you got a bag of Jelly Bellies because you still eat them, right? You got your watermelon, you got the kiwi strawberry.
Every black
Right,
person
you
here so
so
far.
black.
I led with the
Watermelon.
watermelon. I led with the
Watermelon's
watermelon.
one of the best.
Watermelon's one of the best.
It is
Cherry. Anyway, it don't even matter the flavors. You're
No,
getting-
it
I know, 'cause
matters. It
No, man,
matters.
not for this. Not for this. So you're eating them, right? All of a sudden, for some reason, you get a weed one on accident. You get a Maui Wowie, right? You get the Maui Wowie. You get the Maui Wowie Jelly Belly.
You old
Yeah.
as fuck.
And you're like, this one is like you've had almost all the flavors in the bag, coconut, all of them, butter popcorn, which is one of the worst to me. But then you get this Maui Wowie. You're like, oh, you look at the back of the bag and the color, and you look, and you see what it
tie-dye.
was. Are you still? And say you ate a few of them. Say you start picking those out, and you're feeling
And
good.
your back pain went away and your leg
You're
pain
feeling
went away.
good. You're feeling
Your
relaxed.
spleen is healed.
And you look at the back and you see it was Maui Wowie. Are you still upset at Jelly Belly?
Ready to take a
But
nap.
that was just on accident though, right?
Right. It was an accident, but you looked at the back of the bag and saw what it was now. Are you
now it's on
going to go get
accident.
another
Now-
bag?
No, I'd still
Okay.
never go get another bag.
Okay, then.
because
Okay, so this
there's
is principle.
There's another company that I could go to get something just as good
Okay.
that has been on board with this
Just had to make sure.
prior to that.
But you're definitely 1,000% against it. So, okay.
Yes.
Okay, I just had to
Yes.
make sure it was
Yeah,
no little doubt.
I'm
but,
staunch on this. I'm
Okay,
staunch on
Rio,
this.
you can,
Okay.
take it to the bank. No Jelly Belly.
But I have a question that I just wanted to pose. Is this the old people show? Because everything is like super somber today. I'm like, is it? You like, hey, we're gonna talk about like, the somber.
No.
I'm like,
no.
is it
The first half of the show, when we're the soberest, is where we get the serious shit out.
the serious
The
stuff?
second,
I'm
the,
just saying, 'cause
the
I'm-
second
Jelly
half of
Belly.
the show, when we talk about
Wait.
the person, the panhandler that got caught with $500 in the purse and the iPhone X, then that's when we get into the shit.
Every day
Oh,
I'm
you mean
hustling.
every panhandler ever?
Hold on.
I'm just addressing your question. The
Okay,
first
I was
half
just-
is
I
when
was just-
we're the soberest and we get
Okay.
into the serious
So
shit.
the old people part of the
Second
show
half
is
of the
second
show,
half.
yeah. Second half of the show when
was
we
just-
have
I was just
halftime and we go get those jelly bellies. Hey!
Jelly? Rio's in.
Except for Rio.
Rio gonna eat them jelly bellies.
Rio's not in.
Rio can't
Rio's
have
not in. What? I have a question
Don't put
about
my
that.
name on that shit.
I am not affiliated.
Hey, does
in
anybody
any
else
way,
just
shape,
call
or form.
jelly beans jelly bellies just because that's the most?
Yes.
Because that's what I do too.
It's the same
I
thing with,
didn't
like,
mean to have jelly
Q-tips.
bellies, but yeah.
It's the same thing.
I'm very brand specific.
You very what?
Uh-oh.
You
Yeah.
I like to call
Yeah.
them Mike and Ike's, actually.
That's because that's probably what's created first.
Oh, yeah, because
I mean, it's
they
just-
had them when they were new.
it's a
Go
big
1947.
jump.
Now
47.
introducing Mike and Ike. That nigga was like, I need to get some. He heard that. He watched that commercial on the radio.
Hey, you got some Mike and Ike's? Because I will eat them.
No. Hey, does anybody like Good and Plenty's?
No.
You like Good and Plenty's,
Nobody
nigga.
does.
You
Nobody
like those
does.
old depression
Nobody
candies.
likes Good and Plenty's. Do
I
you know
did.
anybody? Have you ever met anybody that likes Good and Plenty's?
Yeah, you.
Your wife likes Good and Plenty.
I
Yeah.
did.
Oh no,
Licorice
hold
ones.
on. That's
The
E's
licorice
sex
ones?
name.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about the fruity ones. I'm talking
The,
about the
the pink and
The pink
white.
and-
Yeah,
in
that's
a
E's sex
box.
name.
Nasty
Yeah.
She
ones.
likes them.
I
E.
used to eat them all
like,
the
I
time
don't
as a
even know.
kid.
Wait, no. She said that's your sex name. Good and Plenty.
You motherfucker.
That's what she said.
And it's licorice.
It's not
Yeah.
black liquor.
Yes.
Black liquor.
Yes, a day in
Ooh.
Vegas, you're
Ooh.
kind of licorice.
Yeah, those
Those are double entendre.
No.
Licorice.
That was another right
Oh,
turn.
black
We just-
licorice. So we'll go ahead and take a break here while you listen to this boho commercial, and then we'll be back.
Thanks, y'all.
Definitely what I mean. Whole album's on my playlist.
No,
Oh, it's called
album.
the whole album. It's called the whole album. That's not called a playlist.
That's hilarious.
They curated it for you. There's nothing else there for you. Alanis Morissette, ironic.
No, just
Yeah, you're
unfortunate.
Don't you think?
Yeah. Is that a real song?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Is that another song other than ironic?
No, that's the name
No.
that's in the lyrics of the song.
No.
I thought you just pulled out another song on the
Nah,
album.
that's it. That's all I got. That's my Alanis Morissette repertoire.
He was
right there.
he was speaking
to
in
fight.
song titles.
No, we gotta fight. No, we gotta fight at
From
that
here
point.
on out.
We gotta fight.
He's
I gotta-
speaking in song
Oh
titles.
man. I didn't realize the Alanis Morissette knowledge. Give me a headache. It's- yeah, that's hilarious. Welcome back. We're back after halftime. Still here with the same Negroes and lady. And Rio.
yeah.
You know too. No, you're too pro black. I gotta give it to you.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah,
You've
one
still
of
been
us.
accepted.
He's on the home team. He's
You've
on the
got
home
a
team
you've got
for
a
sure.
card. It's a mark against your credit at this point.
Yeah.
You can't shake it. It's a mark
Just
against your
disclaimer: you get 50 points on your credit score for joining this club.
Next,
Don't-
you're going to be showing up late to places.
Don't get pulled over. Don't get pulled over.
It is part of you now. You got too many episodes.
And you will probably get some chicken and waffle cereal on the way. On the way home. You're gonna stop and get gas and go in AM/PM.
Along with
Pick
your
up some-
Crown Royal bag, some watermelon.
That's where I keep all my good
Keep
stuff.
all your pogs. Is that where you
Not
keep
the
your
Crown
pogs?
Royal.
Just the bag, yeah.
Just the bag.
Yeah, no. I've never seen a
And-
Crown Royal bottle except for on commercials. But
I see a bag of every
had-
black
I had
person.
You
talks.
getting rid of that bag though?
that bag had a ton of change in it in my life. That's where I went to get all my home run pies.
I keep all my important stuff there.
Your mortgage insurance,
taxes.
license, registration, please. He just opens it,
His son's social security card.
Yeah.
takes off his belt loop like a sultan. Hold on, I got
It's like a
bag
security vault.
got a bag of
No,
silver for
nobody
you.
would
Wait.
ever think I have anything important inside of a Crown Royal bag.
Is it just the plain purple one,
Unless
or do
they
you
were
have a
black,
flavor?
Yeah, or Mexican.
They're gonna go to Chase Bank. It has for Rio's safety deposit box. And his will's
Hold
gonna
on,
be,
let me
his
let me
will's gonna
untie
be in a
it.
scroll inside of a
Tucked in
Crown
the
Royal
Crown
bag.
Royal bag, yeah.
Let me move these pogs out of the way. get to the CVS size receipt of Rio's will.
Like as a kid, my dad never drank Crown Royal, but we did have a Crown Royal bag. And that's where we kept all the letters for Scrabble.
It didn't seem weird
Wow,
until we
man,
had
Rio
our
had
friends
Scrabble
come over
in
for
the
a
house.
sleepover.
I thought you had like Monopoly or
No
Trouble.
Scrabble.
No, yeah. Scrabble.
Oh, man. That's hilarious to me. I only bought a Crown Royal bag when they came out with the Crown Royal Black, and the bag was black. That was my shit. Name that black stallion. Because it was velvety.
What is
Because
this?
when you have
velvet?
that bag, when you have that bag in your hand, you just stroke it a little bit. You know what I mean? You just take your thumb. It's just velvet.
Nope, that's just you.
Hold on. It's the extent in which I know the fabric of velvet. I don't know if it's real velvet or not.
You took it to the
I
next
don't
level.
get that intimate with velvet.
Me
Yeah.
either. I just put,
It feels kind of weird to me, actually.
Seems unnatural.
My bad. I didn't mean to make nobody uncomfortable.
so they actually,
Did we just get me too'd?
Use a Crown Royal bag as a condom. That's what I did with it.
So it's
Oh, man.
it's velvety soft for her pleasure. I'm confused.
Purple for mine. Oh, man, it's terrible. All right, let's see. What was this panhandler? Who put the panhandler getting caught with $500 in an iPhone X?
I did. I think I put this up there about a week or so ago. This lady in New Jersey got caught up by the police. Someone was complaining about her panhandling, and the cops ran into her and found the $500 cash, and she had a designer bag that was worth a ton of money. And it just made me think, how does everybody in here feel about panhandlers? And
I hate Instagram thoughts. This is what I just heard.
first of all, why are they calling cops on her?
I think
She was
like
selling
being a
water.
nuisance or something.
Oh, okay. We're calling cops on her for iPhone. That's just hating.
No, she was. Out.
Oh, why she got it? Why she got the
I
sign?
got the
And she
7.
got,
Like
and
I
she got
worked at the post
FaceTime.
office and I only got a 7. You
Don't
got the
knock
10.
out
But
hustle.
what if the SIM cards are Simply Mobile though? No hate to the Simply Mobile crowd.
I mean,
But it was a brand new iPhone.
I mean,
iPhone X.
okay.
I think either way, the only thing that I think, like, is
She
my
could have
opinion,
had
but-
Sprint. She ain't been homeless.
She could have the boost. But the
Yeah,
only
so I
thing
mean-
I guess that you
Cricket.
could have the problem with is obviously she's taking money potentially away from the true homeless people.
Yeah.
But
Does anybody remember-
we would live in a capitalistic society. Maybe she was better at it.
Does anybody
Maybe
remember Don't
she-
Be a
Maybe
Menace?
she had a good day at the thrift store.
Remember Don't Be a Menace to Society when the guy stops being homeless and hops in a Mercedes and drives off?
I mean, I've seen people with like Jordans on and stuff asking for money, and I just don't give them money though.
Yo, I just asked like twice though. You have to air me out on the podcast.
But there's two.
We borrowed $5 and we borrowed $10. It wasn't that bad.
But it's two sides. There's
Can
like
I borrow $5, Zero?
Let me just
No,
hold
you
that
gotta
up.
pay. You gotta keep that $5. You gotta pay for these big chickens that are coming. They're coming eventually. Nobody's done them yet, but
That's a shame.
either you had a job and we're doing it on the side, which that's like if you say you're a real estate agent, which is just a regular job, right? You can cold call people, you can door knock, but you don't want to do that. Even though it's going to make you money, possibly, you don't want to do that. But if you work for, say she works for the state or whatever, and then she's willing to go panhandle, I mean, she might have a phone because she's saving money, and she's going to panhandling too.
what's the difference between panhandling and Ubering?
I mean, how can you get mad at somebody hustling? They're both. She's taking money away from the other homeless people potentially, but she's really not. She's got her place. They've got their place. I don't really.
She's got her place.
She's got her corner. She's got her block. You got your. I don't really see. She got
the blue
iPhone
magic.
10.
She got the blue magic of panhandling.
Blue Magic. It's a brand name.
All I
She-
can
I
think
mean-
of is that I'm in Pretty Woman. This is our corner.
Has anybody else here other than E seen Pretty Woman?
Oh no!
I've seen it actually.
I've never seen it.
You've never seen it?
I've seen
I mean, I know the premise.
parts of
I've
it.
seen
I
it.
don't
Yeah, I know the
if
premise, and I've
whole
seen
thing,
like,
though.
you know what I mean?
Seen it.
But I've never seen the whole
Prostitute
thing.
And a ruthless businessman can fall in love.
Yeah.
And anyone.
I don't think I've ever seen a full Richard Gere movie.
Aww.
Yeah, that's it. That's the only one I've seen.
I mean, I've only like seen 3.
I think he was in Mothman Prophecies, and I did watch that.
Hella deep.
Wow. Yeah.
You know what? When he said that shit, I just remember the VHS cover of that white lady with the moth on her as lips, like right
That's
here.
Silence
I
of the
just-
Lambs.
Yeah, that's
No,
Silence
no,
of the
I think
Lambs.
Mothman Prophecies
No,
was.
Silence
that's
of the
Silence of
Lambs.
Yeah.
Well, I don't remember that shit then. I'm Googling that shit. Somebody else come up with a topic.
But does anybody here ever give anything to a panhandler or?
You're asking me to have cash, number one, and that doesn't ever happen.
No, Rio's a greenback guy.
I've done it.
Yeah.
I don't do it all
You
the
do
time.
meals.
But sometimes I just.
You do meals
the
more
other
than you
day,
do anything.
You know, there was somebody outside of El
Yeah,
Pollo
you guys
Loco,
are correct. There is no
and I
such
bought him a
thing
couple
as
tacos.
Man,
You know,
prophecy.
I said he asked for money. He asked for, you know, do you have any change? I said, are you hungry? He said, yeah. And I said, well, I'll buy you some food. So I bought him some food, and he was thankful, at least. I do remember buying this dude. He actually said, he goes, hey man, I just want a beer. I bought him a beer. So.
Hey
It
man,
kind
I
of
want a
depends on
beer.
where my mind's at.
You got
But,
beer in the fridge.
You know,
We
depending
brought
on
it.
where you're at, I've had the same person ask me going in and out of the store. And I'm like, fool, you just asked me a minute ago. He's like, well, you say you didn't have no spare change? I still don't. It's not spare. It's mine. It's not spare.
Yeah, it's fair when you categorize it as that you're kind of digging yourself a hole. In my book.
Yeah.
I'm with E on this. I've bought beer for people, or I've given people money for beer when they
Yeah. If
ask.
you're going to be honest about it,
if
sure.
you keep it
Real
real,
honest,
I'm more
yeah.
likely.
I've bought food itself
Yeah.
and gave
That's
them
my
food.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
I'll
I
do that
don't
too.
really give cash.
Like
No,
if somebody's
typically I
hungry and
don't.
they say specifically, "I'm hungry now. I want some food," then or money.
Yeah.
That's usually what I'm more, I guess, sympathetic towards because I know they just and they're usually outside of a restaurant. Then I'll either give them some money and tell them to order something, and they'll go in there, or I just give them like one time outside of Cheesecake Factory. I just got them like a card, and then
What if you notice that they have an iPhone or something?
I don't think it would change my mind for someone being hungry still. Money, maybe. It wouldn't change my mind for them being hungry, though.
Is it wrong that I only pay for whenever somebody who's homeless or quote unquote a bum asks for money for the bus? I only give them money when they're in my neighborhood.
In your what?
In my neighborhood.
In his zip code.
So they can go.
Yeah,
He wants to see his tax dollars
I never
at
want
work.
somebody out of my neighborhood to travel to mine by accident, but I give them money at my local
Remember,
stores.
we were in like about a year and a half ago. Me and you we were in Taco Bell.
Oh yeah,
And we
yeah.
I'd never go inside Taco Bell.
Yeah.
But we went inside this day. It's probably why I
And the
don't go.
bums were inside.
She came up and said, "Hey," she said, "Hey, well, ask for some money or something first," and then she
said,
and
"I got a ride."
what direction you guys going?" She said, "Not in your direction."
What
Not your
direction
way.
you guys going? Not your
Not your way.
My G. Sorry.
But yeah, just I mean,
And I
think
didn't even
food-
drive too. It was Ghost car. It was Ghost car. I was like, nah, not in your direction.
She's trying to craft you.
What did you get for Taco Bell, though?
What is
That's
that?
what you said you never go in Taco Bell?
No,
Why not?
they have a drive-through.
And the food's not difficult enough for me to wait.
Yeah, it's not. I don't need to go inside Taco Bell to get the same thing I can get to the drive-through. The
I
line
never
is
want to
never
go
long
in
in
because I
Taco
don't want to be
Bell.
on camera.
The line is never long in Taco Bell.
I never want to be on camera.
And I want
Yeah, I never want to be on
Right.
the camera. I never want to be on Facebook or Snapchat buying Taco Bell and something terrible happened.
yeah. He was getting a Mexican pizza, and then all of a sudden these kids jumped.
That
him or
bitch got
something.
bald.
But what if you suck at a drive-thru? You're like,
Oh shit! Oh, man.
Nah,
in
You
earlier
know,
news,
what's
Ghost
funny
was stuck in the
is
Taco
Eden
Bell
never
drive-thru.
listened to
Wild.
episode 6, so he has no idea what we just said.
Yeah.
yeah.
When you listen to episode 6 and you listen to episode 7, you're gonna be dying.
This is 7.
Just you don't even
Yeah.
have to listen. Yeah. Okay, my bad. Did I say 6?
No, you got it right.
Okay, yeah.
I got you.
My co-hosts were on my ass about mislabeling audibly
Episode 6 for episode
episodes.
5.
Yeah, I kept saying episode 5, and they were mad.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
Ghost.
Ghost had no
Infuriated.
idea. Ghost thought we were listening
Rio
to
and I
episode
just wanted to
5.
poke fun.
Yeah.
Ghost was hella upset.
Yeah. Almost didn't show up today.
Yeah.
Talked me
He
into it.
wrote a letter. He wrote a letter.
Slid
He
in
felt
the
like
deep.
he was unappreciative of the time he came the last 5 for you to misspeak. Call it number 5 again. Hey, who put on Bill Cosby's tweeting? Who put that on there?
No,
Because I'm the only one on Twitter.
He's looking around for somebody else to admit it. He's looking around
I'm
here.
the only one on Twitter, and I had no idea.
Yes.
Rio put that on.
What's
there.
he tweeting?
What
He's
happened?
tweeting from prison?
Yeah,
JELL.
I'm alive.
got that sponsorship back.
Yeah, he did.
Just trying to help out R. Kelly.
He tweeted a happy birthday to his wife. So he sent out a tweet to his wife, and oh man, I wish I had the Twitter. Maybe Zero could look it up on Twitter since he has it.
I don't want to give I don't want to give my Twitter a felony or anything. So
Yeah, you're gonna get tagged.
see if I can find it.
But he did say happy birthday to his wife.
Felicia
And-
Rashad. It's the only wife I know him to have. When he was pure.
Claire Huxtable.
Claire.
Huxtable.
When he was pure. Yeah, lady.
But he
Yeah, let
wasn't.
him do
You
some
only
terrible
call him-
stuff.
But he wasn't.
You call
You
him
just
Dr.
needed some
Cosby
relief.
Still?
Dr. Huxtable.
Oh yeah.
Look at our childhood heroes. We had Aunt Becky, Bill,
Uncle
Robert, Uncle Phil. Looks like me, and I'm doing a terrible name, or I'm doing a terrible justice to his image.
Yeah.
Is that all he tweeted? Just was a happy birthday?
There was something else in there. I
No,
can't
he's
quite
looking.
remember what
The
it was.
Jello is terrible.
But
I see it. So 3 days ago, he tweeted, "Happy 75th birthday to my beautiful bride, Camille." Period. Dear, comma. So it's probably him. I don't know anybody else in jail is going to know to put dear, comma. You are a wonderful mother, loving wife, but most importantly, you are the strength of this family. Please celebrate.
Without me.
I think it was the hashtags that were controversial or people that were
He
upset
also
about.
put it on Instagram too. So the first one was the Instagram. So he had Instagram and Twitter in jail.
Oh, you had time. You had access.
Yeah. Did he smuggle it up his butt?
iPhone X Max. He got that Galaxy foldable phone. He put that Galaxy fold phone up there.
Folds
reading
into
good.
a convenient size to go
Yuck.
straight up your ass.
As far as the movies tell me, that's the best way to get things in. So.
What movie you watching on XM?
I don't know.
I'm not even gonna finish the rest of that.
Rio, do you want to demonstrate how this works?
No,
I've never been. Never
No,
been.
BK wants you to demonstrate that in private. I don't want to see that shit now. This podcast will get canceled quick. On Twitter, he put, "Happy 75th birthday to my beautiful bride, Camille. Dear, comma. You're a wonderful mother, loving wife, but most importantly, you're the strength of this family. Please celebrate your day. Hashtag Camille O. Cosby. Hashtag happy 75th birthday. Hashtag Bill Cosby." He has had it.
He's
You gotta
on
tag himself.
Hashtag far from finished.
Yeah.
Right.
I think
Hashtag free Bill Cosby.
He put his own out there. That's kind of funny.
You know he's wearing his own shirt. Free Bill.
Yeah, he's the only one wearing
he's
it.
selling them in prison.
Yeah, he is.
Free Bill Cosby.
Handing
With
them
every
out
with every
pudding
purchase
cups.
of 10 boxes of Jello, you get one free Bill shirt.
You can't be mad at a free Bill Cosby hashtag if it's coming from Bill Cosby. You can't, how can you get mad at that?
It's coming from a biased
How
source.
can you get
What is
mad
that?
at
The
that?
Cosby kids on the front. Like,
Yeah,
free Bill, free Bill.
Oh man,
That's-
nah, it's got him as like Little Bill from Disney Channel. It's got the cutout old school Little Bill. Oh man,
That would be more like a Me Too shirt.
I always thought. Fair enough. I always thought that Uncle Ruckus from the Boondocks was always based on Bill Cosby.
Oh, Uncle Ruckus.
Like as he got older, don't trust those new niggas over there. That's how they came out the gate on episode 1.
I remember that.
Oh
remember that.
shit. Man, the Boondocks. If you've never
I
watched
love
the
the
Boondocks, if you've never watched a Boondocks cartoon series,
What are you doing with your life?
there's a website called
Date with the health inspector.
Oh man. where the
itis.
where the lawyer dude does the usher in the street. Oh man, there's just so many.
Oh, where his wife's in love with Usher?
Yeah. Yeah, and he does the burn. He does Let It Burn music video out in the street. Oh man, the R. Kelly trial episode
Scout.
R.
2.
Kelly trial.
The Girl Scout
Day with the
cookies.
health inspector. Let's nab Oprah.
The Girl Scout cookie ones where
Yes.
they do the Scarface.
So my president is black and my Lambo is blue.
That right there,
Empire.
that line right there. And fuck you, fuck the boat, fuck the plane you flew in on, fuck all that. That whole diatribe is exactly
That was
why
hilarious.
Regina King won.
What about
Yes.
won
Lifetime achievement.
the dude, the Afro dude that paints that you always watch, BK?
Bob Ross.
They did an episode
Yeah.
with Bob Ross. I don't know
Yeah.
if you get to.
I didn't see
Yeah.
that one.
Yeah, they did
I
one where
still
he
like
was,
the
he was the
itis.
one where Riley
Oh,
was
the
painting.
itis.
I don't remember that one.
Itis is fucking hilarious too.
Oh,
Where
I
he created
love
a
the
restaurant
itis.
with the
With the beds.
beds.
Yeah, I saw that one.
You could eat and take
It's
a nap.
classics. A lot of classics.
It's Denny's. If Denny's had beds,
Well, people still say the itis now. They didn't say it
people said it before. No, they said it before.
I
Chappelle
think
Show
more
was-
so now.
For sure.
Chappelle Show was before that, though,
For
wasn't
sure.
it? Yeah, Chappelle Show was before that.
Yeah. Itis has always been a thing in the black community. And
Yeah.
it's in my I'm only 30, so but it's always been talked about in my life. What about yours, Rio? You did a lot of research.
He's part black and he don't know.
There wasn't a
No,
Wikipedia
Rio's
page.
full black at this point. He's done enough research. When you know more than black people, you kind of not more than, but equal to. I don't want to disrespect the queens out there like Angela Rye or whatever. But
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I don't wanna do that.
I would never hold myself in that light. I just try to preface anything I talk about.
does anybody hear about Just Hilarious?
No.
So Just Hilarious on a plane was walking on. She's like a comedian. She was started on Instagram, but she's on that show Rail. I think she's been on Wildin' Out. I think I would say she's, you know what I mean? She's up and coming black woman comedian. She was going on a plane. I don't know when this was or where she was flying to, but there was a few Sikh gentlemen on the planes. And she zoomed in on their head wraps, their turbans, and was like, "Oh my God, I'm so scared. Where are you going? Where are you going?" You know what I mean? I'm assuming she thought it was a joke. And then they got deplaned, so everyone got off the plane. And she said, "I told you guys didn't listen to me. I told you I was fucking scared." And just cursing and doubling down on the racist joke when people pushed back on her on the internet. And then they got back on the plane, and she claimed that those gentlemen in the turbans did not get aboard the plane after the plane was reboarded. So people were speculating, saying that Just Hilarious got the people kicked off. There's no evidence of that. I was more number one. People were saying it was racist. It's not really racist. It's religion, because Sikh is a religion. It's not. I don't think it's a race.
I mean, the same umbrella. I feel like.
But
the
Discrimination.
ignorance that falls in line with that. I think it's safe to say racism.
I just don't know why people are so. I mean, even the people with 9/11. I don't think anybody in the pictures ever had a head wrap on. I never understood why the head wrap was.
I think Americans are
Was
just.
the identifier?
That's incredibly sad to me. Like whenever a Sikh person gets killed by a fucking racist who thinks they're Muslim, because it's just having zero information regarding a group of people and just making a ton of assumptions.
That's when I think it's scary, because that's when I think fear mongering is like it happens. The United States media has mastered it so well, because you know what I mean. It was black people, and then it kind of swayed over to Muslim or Middle Eastern people, and now it's kind of swaying over to illegal immigrants. You know, with the last election or whatever. But the media has like so many things that they do in order to kind of like reinforce that negative stereotype of a certain people. That's it's kind of crazy. This happens.
Hate to me is like,
Yeah, there's always an enemy. It's always some race.
Yeah.
It's always
to me,
somebody.
it's getting spread more by I'm going to tell you who to hate versus having a real reason to hate something. I was like, I'm going to tell you who to hate, why to hate them, or, you know, somebody with misinformation, especially, you know, about Sikhism and the head wrap and stuff like that. But if I tell you, it's like, oh, look, there's a bunch of, you know, whatever, you know, insert racial slur here, and somebody else hears that, then when they're by themselves away from that person, they're just going to carry it on. And it kind of just carries on like that. It's not because there's a real need to be fearful or there's a real basis in that racism. It's just like they're just following along with somebody else. Like, hey, it's cool to hate something. I'm just going to go ahead and do that. And I think it's getting more and more like that with everything. It's
yeah,
like
hate,
the cool
hate
thing
is
to do now is
definitely
be hateful.
Yeah, hate is definitely like ruling the world right now. Like it's on Twitter. Like the shit that happens that's like super hateful goes viral more than the shit that's positive. It's just a weird dynamic. Like I've never understood how like in 2019 like a woman could get knocked out by a guy and he's not getting his face smashed in. I saw a lot of that shit because I guess
Nope, just got traded to another team.
I saw on World Star there was a few I guess spring break just happened. There was a lot of dudes punching women. I didn't understand that
I saw
shit.
a couple of those.
Yeah, what?
Yeah. Was drunk.
Like,
Too crazy.
even if a woman punched me, like if it didn't hurt, what the fuck is it matter? I can move on. Like my masculinity is not insecure enough that if a woman caught me clean, I feel like I have to punch her back.
It's probably not
Even if a man punched me clean, and like I really don't have that in my soul, because I'm just not that guy. Like if a guy punches me, I'm still okay in my masculinity. Where, you know what I mean? If I don't feel like I have to stomp his face in. I don't. I'm always defend myself in any situation, but I don't ever really look at a woman as a threat. Even if she gets a couple like punches in, I just don't look at a woman as a threat. Now, if she's real muscular, then I guess it's different. But a regular average woman, if BK came over here and started unloading on my face, I don't feel like I have to stomp her face in to get back at her. I just never understood why women or why men like feel that way. Oh, well, she hit him first. And what does that mean? I never understood that.
Most of the time, it's not even that. It's just the power trip. They don't even hit him first. They just want to establish dominance is what it more often than not is, and show them that they're the man, quote unquote, in the relationship, and that their word is, you know, what it is, and all. I mean, so usually it's not even a self-defense or retaliation thing. It's just them trying to establish that they're the head of household or whatever it may be. So both ways. I mean, I think it's stupid to ever put your hands on a woman, but
I have a younger sister, and I never really punched her either. I don't know. It's never been really.
no.
It's never been in my bones. What'd you be, gay? How you? I mean, kind of know how you feel, but you could say it verbally.
I guess it just depends on the situation. I mean, if you're woman enough to hit a man, then you best expect to get punched back. It's gonna happen. I don't say that it's gonna be every guy, but don't be shocked if it happens.
Oh, I'm not saying it's. What I'm saying is, I understand that we know that it's expected, but I don't necessarily know if that's a good expectation. Is what I'm saying. Because once again, like if a woman hit me, I would only fight when I feel like I have to defend myself.
Yeah.
And if I get hit, and although it may hurt, if I don't feel like it's a threat, I'm not hitting nobody back.
Come here, let me punch you in the face. Let's see how you feel.
Thank you. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Like I don't necessarily know. I'm not punching anybody back. I remember one time my sister, we were younger, and I remember I had my head in a closet. I was grabbing something in the bottom of my closet. And she came, and she didn't necessarily know, but she pushed with two hands and all her motherfucking might and slammed that damn closet door on my head. And I remember I was so mad. I didn't hit her then.
It explains a lot.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I was older though. My head was solidified.
Your brain
Still
wasn't.
explains some things.
I mean, fair enough. But even
There's
then,
an indentation that makes sense right now on the left side.
yeah, yeah, it's character building. It's a good conversation starter.
I think it's a personality trait, though. I think if your first reaction is to want to hit that woman, that's which I think is wrong, and that's kind of, I think, in you. It's not most people, because it's most, and we see a lot of these incidents, but most men aren't that way. I feel, but if you have that in you to where you want to retaliate in that way and back in a physical way, I think that's just a kind of in my opinion, it's a flaw in your character. That's what I feel. And going back to the flight, it's really a crazy subject because racism is always a very polarizing topic. So whenever from now on for the last 5 years, say for example, if a white cop shoots a black person, people want to put it on the national news not because it's racist, because it's going to pull a big story, you know.
Right.
So, but yet we'll have these people, and you'll see it on some of your favorite national news networks. They're calling these people for having, rags in their head or looking a certain way, and thinking they were a threat, and they think that that's okay. How is that any different? It's like, I'll go straight and compare it. I'm black. There's a lower percentage of just to point out Muslims that are criminals or these suicide bombers that you think than there are black people that are actually, felons and things like that. But yet we just think we tie them together. Oh, this community, committed a terrorist act. So we're going to crucify their whole millions and millions and millions to me.
I've always thought it was weird that people also, because I believe the Muslim religion is like the
Super peaceful.
second. Well, I thought it was the
it's
second
it's the
largest.
most popular religion in the world.
I mean, there's like billions of people who are in there, and you always take like,
And
even if it's
100,000.
100,000,
Yeah.
even if it's 100,000, even if we're talking about the whatever happens in the Middle East or whatever, there's still it's still such a huge. It would be like okay, taking all Catholics and putting them just because priests are a certain way. Like that's just still one section of that whole religion. There's a ton of people who are Catholic who don't do that.
Yeah, I feel like
I understand that there's a lot of priests who do, quote unquote. That's not indicative of the whole religion.
No,
Just not.
But it's not. My thing is that, and that happens with different races. But why is it not as? You don't hear that a lot. Like you hear black people. Oh, he went to the IHOP and they made him pay before. That was an incident where they made him pay before they even ate. They made him pay. And then like there was some white people, pointed out and said, hey, why you didn't make us pay before? Why are you making them pay? But I feel like for Muslims, nobody really stands up for them in that same way. I feel like people say, well, I'd be scared too. I'd be, they have been. It's not nearly as common for people to say, hey, that's racist. Or people say it, they acknowledge it, but they don't really fully.
Don't fight for it.
Yeah, exactly. They kind of, they'll acknowledge, oh, that was kind of wrong, but, hey, it happens.
I think it's because they're perceived as not being from here. So it's an outside threat. And I'm not saying it because that's the way I think. I'm just saying it's easy to say, a lot easier to say they, because I don't think that Muslims get the same level of, hey, I came over here, hey, I'm now an American citizen, I'm part of the society, I'm part of it. I don't think they get that. I think they always get to be Muslims. I think that with other cultures, whether you're Asian, you're from Chinese, Vietnamese, Korean, or you're from England, Australia, you get to assimilate and become American. But right now, especially with what is going on in the world, where you're Muslim, you don't get to assimilate. So people are less likely to jump in with you being one of them. They think of you as being you're somebody else. Not that you don't need to be defended, but I think that's, you're an outsider.
I can see that, except for the fact that the only reason, because they've been here a while, the only reason that is even a thing to me is because of what happened in 9/11. So they were coming along peacefully. We didn't even talk about them. They were here peacefully. They've quote unquote assimilated or whatever they need to do. And I understand they're not one of the more, you talk about blacks are kind of up there, Hispanics are up there, Asians. There's different cultures that have kind of been in the Americas and kind of been assimilated with us for a while. But and they may not be thought of as one of them. but they have been, and all of a sudden these incidents, and it wasn't one, but multiple incidents happened, and all of a sudden we look at them negatively as if there was no past of them being here. I mean, if you
No, that's you're totally right.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all correct. I'm just in
Yeah, for
there
them,
was
for
nothing
what their
going on
mindset.
before that happening, but I think that made people, I don't want to say forget, but I don't think a lot of people even knew, because I think they did fly under the radar before that, and there wasn't nothing going on, but it put them in the forefront negatively, and that's all that people think
But
about.
that's
It's
what
the
I'm
same
saying.
thing
I
with-
still don't think there's anything going on. I think that was just a media thing.
And I think and this is another thing with the social media type stuff. I hate the ignorance, because there's stupidity, which is just you knowing things and doing, and the ignorance is you just not knowing it. And you can't be ignorant to a situation this serious, such as racism and prejudice, and then post something on social media. Or was it so this person on the plane, was it like a live Facebook Live or something that they were doing?
Yeah, they were doing Instagram.
So I mean, you can't post something like that and be that ignorant. It just that's the point I don't like.
I just don't like when somebody's trying to educate you and you double down. Because everyone tried to educate her when the plane was deboarded.
Yeah.
Like, she was responding to people who were like, yo, that's, you know what I mean, that's not okay. You know what I mean? Those people aren't even Muslim. You have to, you know what I mean, chill out. Don't do that. And she just kind of doubled down. Like, I told you, motherfuckers, I was scared. I don't give a fuck what nobody says. You know what I mean? I don't follow everybody else on this or know what that means. And then she just kept, you know what I mean? She doubled down. Then she tripled down when they reboarded the plane. And then like 3 or 4 days later, this is, I think it was actually the day after everything happened in New Zealand. So timing's just like her thing. So she's also had other shit in the past. She used the F word. She said F word to a homosexual gentleman. Called him in you know what I mean, some comments because he was getting at her, because she, you know what I mean, she kind of likes to respond to people in the shade room, which goes to shade room is
Not the champagne.
it's like
room.
TMZ, but only on Instagram. They post the messiest shit you can ever find on in the world. They post it on Shade Room, and then people get in the comments and discuss shit. So it's not the best place to go
Not the
for
best
context
source.
and or be in the comments. So that's what she's gotten hot water over that stuff. So my issue was, if you've kind of been wrong previously when somebody's trying to tell you something, you could have swapped it. You could have changed it. That was my thing.
Yeah, I don't even think giving her this much time is.
Yeah, it's rough. My bad.
That's just.
BK, you said that there was a plane bound for Malaysia that had to turn around. What happened?
This dumb bitch.
Oh, she got mauled.
She got mauled. She was boarding a plane from Malaysia to Saudi Arabia and went to a stewardess, or I should say a flight attendant, not stewardess, my bad, and said, "Hey, we need to turn around. I forgot my baby in the terminal." So they had
You're
to.
in a rush.
Yeah.
She only had a carry-on.
Yeah.
Wow. 'Cause you bored earlier with the baby, so
Right.
How do you forget your baby?
How do you forget your baby?
But they bored you. Hey, anybody with children that need assistance? Oh, it's
So-
us.
yeah.
But we're not going to bring our child.
So the flight attendant went to the captain. The captain broadcasted it over the entire intercom system saying, "Hey, we're turning back because this person
I would have called her out.
forgot her-
25A.
Yeah,
She
because
left her
this dumb
baby.
bitch forgot her baby."
Do you know how long they were into the flight?
Not super long. I think it was only like 15 minutes, but still 15 minutes in a plane going.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're in a rush, you might. I mean,
No, I
It-
can't
it
say
sucks
you
for-
could ever forget your kid.
no, it sucks. No, I'm. Oh, whoa, no. That's
Well,
already.
I mean, hot cars have proven that people forget their kids all the
yeah,
time.
we've already accepted that she was dumb. But
Yeah.
for the other passengers, it might suck. But I agree with them turning it around.
Yeah.
I just think it's really dumb. She should have to maybe pay for something though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I
definitely.
think she should pay for another ticket or something. I don't know.
I
I don't
couldn't
know
believe
if I feel okay with turning around. So
No,
she can go get
I
her
feel like she
baby.
should turn around and get her kid. You have to.
I kind of feel like she.
Especially 15 hour in, probably still, but 15 minutes in, somebody's baby is. How old was the?
The article didn't say.
If they said baby, it's probably
They
less
just
than
said
3.
baby.
So now you got to turn around. You got
Yeah, I don't. I think that baby can go to
gotta make that
somebody
you.
else.
Nah.
It
I mean,
should.
You know what? That's
It
a good
probably
point is-
should.
But the
It's been
problem is,
72 hours. Can we give that baby up to
the problem is that you
firefighters?
may or it might not go to the system.
Yeah.
The other person that gets it might not be
Oh,
a
yeah, I
person that
understand.
needs
And
to
we're
get it.
also
That's a
assuming that
big-
it's an American
that's a-
baby
yeah.
Yeah, and that's
flying
in
from Malaysia to Saudi Arabia.
That's
So,
a
yeah, go
big
back.
pro life, pro choice
Yeah.
debate that we'll have on a different episode.
Now you switch. That's not even the topic that was.
Keeping
The baby was already
alive
born.
kids
Yeah,
alive?
the baby was already born.
The baby's already there.
No, the system.
Malaysia,
The
they probably
system
could-
as a whole.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you were just talking about keeping alive babies alive. Whoa.
No. I'm glad you allowed me to clarify that, Rio, because that could have been tragic to the health of this show. No. I definitely, babies who are alive should stay alive.
Yes.
I'm just talking about the system when it comes to pro-choice or pro-life,
But yeah.
giving a kid up for adoption, as if that works out all the time. That's all I'm saying.
But the moral of the story is check your baggage.
That bitch got
Make sure you got your kid too.
That's crazy.
You're looking at me like you forgot the kid once. It's something that you want to.
No.
He doesn't know where he's at right now.
Right.
What
Where's your kid
kid?
at right now?
What kid? We got a kid.
Oh, did the kid get a little tag? Did the carry-on get a tag? Tag
Yeah,
him?
they could-
You
she
flown
could
with the
pick him up
baby.
in
You don't get a
Milwaukee.
tag.
She'll pick him up in
mean,
Milwaukee at the interchange.
The carrier gets a tag. Does the kid get a tag? Is the kid luggage?
Neither one.
I'm just saying, as a passenger on that flight, I'd be really upset.
Oh,
I would.
definitely would be upset.
I don't necessarily know when that kid
I mean,
when that kid gets picked up and she gets back on the plane.
Oh, she's getting.
Oh
eyes.
my goodness, she's getting, there's all kind of boost.
You might want to pick a different flight.
She's getting all kind of them.
I mean, you gotta. That's a good point. You could just drop her off at the closest
Yeah.
city, and then
Yeah,
the
she
baby will
get the
get to
connecting
her
flight
later.
in New York City when we
And that's
fly.
kind of a lesson learned.
Find your
Yeah.
way back.
If you don't learn after
It flew
that,
from, it
You
flew
gonna
from
learn
Malaysia.
today.
We can stop in
yeah,
Ireland.
I mean,
I
that's
mean,
the
if
same
they
way
were
I teach
only-
my son. You gonna
If they were
learn
only
some shit
15
today.
You gonna learn
If they're only
today.
15 minutes in, I mean, they got parachutes in the back.
Yeah,
We'll just drop to 10,000 feet.
Yeah.
You'll be fine.
Go ahead,
That's
give
what
it
I'm
a,
saying.
give it a floating device in case you're over some water.
just kick her whole chair
Yeah,
out.
just let's get it.
It might
The
be
kid's
contagious.
fine on the chair. He'll be fine when you get back.
Injection
It might
button.
be. It might be contagious. No, that whole person got. Yeah, she gets ejected.
Yeah,
I mean, do you have to put a perishable tag on it? I mean, what do you do?
Nah, we just drop her where we find her.
I mean, they drop her in Houston and he's in Atlanta and they meet up. I mean, what do you do with the kid? Does he get a seat? Does he get perishable? Does he go? I mean,
I
Does
it's
he
a
go
baby.
down into the crate with the dog?
It's a baby. A baby's sitting. You know what I mean? The stewardess seats.
you have
flight
to pay
attendant.
extra
Flight
to have
attendant.
an escort if you're a child.
You always have to pay extra for an escort.
Robert
Ask
Kraft
Robert Kraft.
posted that.
If you pay extra, that's just the cost. I'm just.
It's
He
kinda
just gave a
extra.
really good tip for at least one.
I don't necessarily know if
Two tips. She
$100
gave
from
two
a
tips.
billionaire is in 48 hours. I don't necessarily know if that's
it
a good
doesn't
tip.
change the price.
100.
Yeah, it was $50 each time.
Oh, it was 100 total, or at least once.
He
Once
said
was
it,
100.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. He went twice.
I like how we jump between.
Do the math.
Woman
B.
left her
I need to say-
child at the airport.
He left his
and now
baby
we're talking
babies
about
at the
$100
Orchids of
tips.
Asia.
And we're getting
I need
handies.
Robert Kraft to release a statement letting me know how
Exactly.
much he tipped.
Other
I
than
told
the
you
other one.
just the tip.
We need closure as opposed
No,
to
no, he's, well,
closure.
he's
Yeah, bro.
there was a report of
Mr. Kraft.
$100. I don't necessarily know if that's what you're giving your,
Two
your main
boxes of-
anyway.
Mac
need
and
to- I
cheese.
need to know if that was split between the two or if that was.
the public
I know.
deserves.
If he
the-
did one
deserves the
time
truth.
and didn't tip the second time, oh, what a trash bum! You see the same dude who gave you 100, and
Maybe
you know she put in that extra effort in the second time. You know what I mean?
Maybe she
Maybe
was
that
lazy.
150 could go. You know what I mean? 200,
Yeah,
and he
effort
was like,
wasn't.
"Oh yeah, you don't get none."
Maybe that was like he's a regular. Now he just kind of like back paid him for like the third or fourth
So
time.
he
he's
just
been
covered
there.
a tab.
He's like, here's 100.
What if
He
she
covered
was
a tab?
What if she was garbage though?
I mean, it was
what
the
if
same.
she
It was the same girl. Same girl.
Okay, maybe she didn't do it
No.
the second
Then why
time.
would you give her a tip the first time?
Maybe she was better that time. Maybe she was lazy. Maybe she was tired that day. Maybe she just
Gave too
didn't-
many handies.
She can have a bad day.
Maybe her arm was tired. She's having.
Do you know what
nerve
that's
damage.
like?
Nah, she got a
Carpal
whole.
tunnel?
Nah, she got a whole
Maybe she
Kogan
had
on.
carpal tunnel.
She had to
She's
switch
having
to the
nerve
left
issues or
hand,
something
not
like
the
that.
right.
That's a little stranger.
I mean, if you go to a restaurant, you don't always get the same service from the same waitress. I mean, I'm just saying.
I've never. Has anybody here worked in food service?
Yes.
What was that like? I've never worked in food service.
No, I haven't.
I've only public place I've worked at is retail.
What do you mean? What was it?
Like, did you ever had an
you
attitude
serve
like,
food?
bitch, at table 27, there's some assholes. They asked for water, so I'm gonna go bring them a root beer. Like, were you ever that dude?
No,
Maybe.
I've never intentionally fucked up someone's food or
Not if somebody was upset at you. Well, how old were you? How old were you when you did this?
I was a teenager.
Where were you working? Where was it?
So
Eppies?
the first time I worked in food service, Mexican underage labor. We had a friend of the family
No.
that needed
You know, fuck on this show.
she needed help on
That's how
her
it
Friday
starts.
shift, and my mom was one of her really good friends. So we used to go and help out. Didn't have a babysitter, so my mom always took me. I think I was 13, 14, so I'd wait and I'd bust tables. And after that, I worked at a sandwich shop.
Yeah.
Both times,
Why you get so juiced over sandwiches?
she loves
Subway.
She was
my
like, "Oh,
shit."
sandwiches. Subway's open till Tuesday. Is that what you guys be? You know what I mean? Is that what
Making
gets your?
sandwich?
Is that her aphrodisiac? Is a meatball sub at 11 before you guys go home after the club?
It is bribery material.
Subway is.
Sandwich.
The,
Just a
the
sandwich
woman
in
loves
general?
Subway. You
I
get
love
you get your
Subway.
woman what she
You,
wants.
I mean, you so
regardless
basic
of what that
though.
is.
I love Subway. I'm sorry.
That's basic. The Subway.
so-
It's the simple pleasures in life.
That's what I
But,
said.
Eat fresh.
No.
Yeah.
But for anybody that believes that they don't do stuff to your food when you are
An asshole.
basically an asshole to the service staff, yeah, they do. I never did anything like nasty to anybody's food. I
What's
just-
that? What,
that's-
hold on,
Yeah,
hold
'cause
on.
you said
what's
like
the
you-
what's the
you did
what's the
something.
category of nasty that you're referring to right now?
Nasty's putting something unfood related on the food.
But
So you
you
never
did
put a
something,
dick
though.
in somebody's hot dog?
No,
You did something.
I used to
though,
work
'cause
at a pizza. I used to work at a pizza place that shall remain nameless. But the worst thing you could do to
Papa
somebody's
John's.
pizza is not cut it.
like one time when I was working at the sandwich shop, there was this old lady that came in. She was a neighbor of ours growing up, and she was a evil bitch. Her and her husband, and
She got mold.
she got mauled. But they came in one day when I was working at that sandwich shop, and I remember I was like, "Man, I'm gonna make her the nastiest fucking sandwich ever." Cause
She thought that shit was delicious.
Yeah.
she sure did. She was so happy with it. She was like,
Oh,
"It was amazing."
banana
I was like,
peppers.
"Motherfucker!" I was like, "I fucked that up. How did I do it?"
You are a
Peanut
good
butter.
kid. I'm so sorry about how I treated you for 20 years.
Yeah, but other than that, I've never done anything to someone's food. I did get close one time. This lady came in and was on her phone the entire time, super rude, and was mad at me for like asking her what she wanted on her sandwich or her salad. And
guess
What were you going to do, though?
I
Like,
could
what were you
choose
close
the
to doing?
ingredients. I guess.
I was close to dropping some nuts on them.
There goes the nut.
Next time I put a little sugar ABC in the glass.
Oh, you're
Oh,
so old.
man.
Don't do that to yourself.
So I was close to put some
I was close to
on
dropping
the
some
sandwich.
nuts. You know, I almost made her cranberry salad, almond cranberry salad.
I thought about it, but deep down inside, I just couldn't do that. To
But here's
somebody's
what's
food.
since it's hypothetical. and
But
this
there's
could-
someone that isn't me that is totally doing that to your food.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, for
Absolutely.
sure.
But if you would, here's my question now. Since it didn't happen, say it did happen, are you like sitting behind the bar watching her eating and laughing as she's, or do you come back
With
and say what you
everybody
did,
going,
or
I
what?
think
These
it was
nuts.
to go. I
Whatever.
think
Oh, it's to go.
It was to
Take
go.
these
She
nuts
was
to
she
go.
was taking that phone call. It was.
Did she? Would you have walked by and she's like, "Oh, what's this odor flavor?" And you were like, "These nuts." It's this oaky type of taste.
Oh,
Just did the suck it. Oh, I upgraded your salad. Gave you some blue cheese.
So, but what if she's like, ooh, that's what that is? You want to go home?
No.
I'm rolling.
don't do that to Mrs. Rio.
No. This is years ago.
He was young.
Yeah, at 13, I'm rolling.
He's still young.
At 13, I'm rolling.
That was when I was like, I think I was like 18.
Yeah, if I'm 18, I'm still rolling.
Yeah.
I think I get some money out of that too.
That's the closest I've ever been.
I've never worked in food service. What'd you be, Kay? You ever try to drop your ovaries on a person's salad?
I don't think anybody would take my ovaries. I only worked at a smoothie place, so I didn't really do the whole food service.
You
I
never
thought an ice cream shop too.
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay.
Nope.
You guys see that Shaq is now the face of Papa John's? What a turnaround that's
Oh
become.
man,
That's sad.
Wow.
does he lose a little bit of credit for that?
Nah, not Shaq.
No.
I mean, he's obviously he's for collecting the check. We've seen that in the many commercials he's in, but
The general insurance.
yeah,
No, you can't do this. You can't do the shake. Yeah,
icy hot.
yeah. And you can't have your line of shoes just be like the predominant shoes at Payless.
Oh no.
Well,
Yeah,
you
I get
can't
that.
now because they going out of business.
I think they're out of business.
I don't know if you can go to Papa John. I don't like that move. I don't
What?
think I like that.
I didn't see that coming.
I had to think about it. I had to process it. He's
I mean,
not
I
like
ain't eating Papa John's
he doesn't
regardless.
he doesn't need it. If you need it, then I mean, do what you do. He definitely doesn't need it.
We don't know how.
Nobody
it lives.
needs that pizza.
No, I'm talking about the money. Because
I
he doesn't care about the
mean,
pizza.
he don't
He
need.
cares
I
about
mean,
the
he
check.
I need the
obviously
pizza
doesn't need the
for
money,
free.
but
He's
I
not
mean,
eating Papa John's.
I need the pizza for free.
I don't think you're talking about. I don't think Papa John's is the biggest. It's not like a Chick-fil-A kind of situation. So I mean, if
Yeah,
they
but
writing
they're-
checks,
Their previous
You only
owner,
want it on Sundays?
Their previous owner was Papa John was now no longer with the company because of some racist comments.
oh,
He made.
I mean, I know he made some comments. I mean, Chick-fil-A has gone beyond.
Yeah, but Chick-fil-A
just
doesn't
comments to funding organizations and whatnot. So I don't think we're at that level. If it was a Chick-fil-A and I would probably be like, okay, that's a bad move. Papa John's, I mean, if they're writing checks.
Wait. So you'd be mad at him for representing Chick-fil-A?
What, Chick-fil-A?
Yeah.
I think Chick-fil-A would be a bigger deal.
Really?
I mean, based on what's going on now with Chick-fil-A.
What's going on right now with Chick-fil-A?
Well, Chick-fil-A started out with the owner of Chick-fil-A or the head of Chick-fil-A. I'm not sure which, but I'm pretty sure the owner. But had made comments about same-sex marriage, and everybody had a shit fit. And to me, at the time, I was like, he probably just said that for free publicity, blah, blah, whatever. But now there's been a lot of claims that they're directly funding anti-gay efforts, what was the other one? I was just reading it just yesterday. Basically, it was a lot anti-gay, same-sex marriage, and there was one white. I don't want to say white supremacists. It was white nationalists, is what they call white supremacists. White nationalist
Synonyms.
organization.
It's a
So
euphemism.
they have ties to that
Synonyms.
funding, and I think that kind of takes a little bit further than where Papa John's was at before they let their owner go.
I don't think so. Papa John's.
Well, Papa John's
John's does
wasn't the
flash.
company though; it was a person. So I guess you can separate it that way.
Well, he was the company, so
I mean, he's a person who worked for the company. Chick-fil-A is like that's their stance because they're a religious, conservative organization, which is why they're closed on Sundays and why they operate the way they do. So that's, I mean, if he didn't come out and say that, you kind of assume that's how they feel, anyways.
I've never. I guess this is more of a me thing. I've never really looked at anybody who endorses a product by meaning that they like it. I don't think Brett Favre wears all that damn copper sleeve shit.
of course he does.
I don't think he does. Or use a
It's the
finishing
only
touch.
thing holding them together.
trimmer.
Yeah, the trimmer.
Papa John himself, the Papa John,
Yeah.
is still the largest shareholder of Papa John's.
Yeah, he's just not in the commercials.
Yeah.
He just can't be the spokesperson anymore. Because he's the owner. I don't think they can get rid of him. Because I don't think it's.
Yeah, then I guess I'm not rolling. I thought he was separated from the company.
I did too.
I mean, once again, Shaq is Shaq, so
He owns 26% still, so he's the largest shareholder.
Yes, that's even worse then.
Yeah.
That's even worse for Shaq, especially when you can get money from any piece of
I don't
else.
think Shaq will be. I don't think anything negative will come of this.
no.
Just because Shaq is Shaq.
No.
Yeah.
Yes. Because Shaq is big and goofy and Shaq.
Because he said Steph Curry wasn't black during the All-Star.
Yeah, he did. He just says some stuff. He gets away with it.
I guess we'll wrap it there. I still want to send out prayers and condolences. I did this independently last week. But I do want to send prayers and condolences to New Zealand Steel. There was a lady or a woman or a girl, I don't necessarily know. There was a female student who graduated from Stoneman Douglas, the school last year, who had the mass shooting from that kid, and she committed suicide. And the parents said it was due to survivor's remorse or survivor's guilt. So I want to send thoughts and prayers to her and her family as well, and hopefully. Those kids who, because they said that she suffered from PTSD, so hopefully those kids in that situation can get the help they need to kind of continue on and move forward. And I would never know how to talk to somebody or react about a situation of that magnitude. So I hope they can get what they need, and you know what I mean, we can kind of see some changes go forward, no matter what the change is. I know that's a very controversial thing, but we kind of have to start working to change something, because keeping everything the same is not working. So thank you for listening to episode 7. We'll be back next week with episode 8. After that will be episode 9.
You
right,
can
Rio?
count so well.
Yeah, right, Rio?
I gotta wait until next episode to see what you say.
Okay. Fair enough. We'll be back next week. Prayers and blessings to everybody. The world's not this difficult, but with the access to information, it starts to make shit difficult. So prayers and love for sending out to everybody.
And thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening. Thank you for supporting. We're on YouTube now. That's how you know we're legit.
Yeah.
That's where you go to see some of the weirdest shit, though.
Yeah, that's exactly what.
I don't know if that's legit.
Well, the good news, they can't see us.
Yeah, audio only. It's audio only. That's the only way I could get Ghost and Rio to be on the show.
Yeah.
So it's only audio only, but please go rate, subscribe. We're on Google Play.
Like and share.
5 star only.
Yeah.
5 star.
Yeah, 5 star.
And the
only.
McChicken Challenge. Somebody asked a question. Be
I had somebody
something.
ask in the DMs like, hey, if you want to link up and, you know what I mean, we can do some viral stuff to see if we can get the show to pop. No. This is who we are. If we're gonna get big and get popular, it's gonna be by doing us. I never want to stray from doing us.
I ain't boot ganging shit.
No.
You did not.
I'm not doing none of that shit. So, but we're definitely gonna be authentic, whether this shit works or not. I definitely want to be able to sleep at night with who I am.
Yeah.
So, till next week, stay up.
See ya.
Deuces.
Fuck this shit, I'm out. Fuck this shit, I'm out. No thanks, don't mind me. I'ma just grab my stuff and leave. Excuse me, please. Fuck this shit, I'm out. Nope. Fuck this shit, I'm out. Alright then. I don't know what the fuck just happened, but I don't really care. I'ma get the fuck up out of here. Fuck this shit, I'm out.